post, and he's like, "Who are you? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I think
And
I
I'm like,
remember seeing that.
I was like, okay, you're so cool. You're so popular. You're so famous. You get so many debate invitations. You don't know who I am. Here's what you said, and then he just ignored me. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever, man. I moved on. With
You
Gary,
guys are clowns.
He's ignored me for months and months and months and months. And every time when I reach out to people, I'm very respectful. I tell them who I am, what I'm about, what I believe, and that I think it would be a productive and constructive either conversation or debate, right? It doesn't have to be a debate because none of us are actually debaters. You know what I mean? Like we can call it a debate, but it's not like a formal debate. No one's moderating, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so he ignored me. And then I called him out on a post like a few days ago. And he responded to it finally. And he's like, you're just a Candace conspiranite or something. He's like, you're a nobody. Like if I responded to, like, he pretty much was like, I have no business responding to you and you're pointless and like whatever. And I'm like, then if any of that were true, why are you responding to me right now? Like, why did you respond to me at all? Why didn't you just ignore me? And I was like, Gary, your pride and ego get you every time. Like, you should have just ignored me. Now you look stupid. But anyway,
Right.
what did he say about the freaking photo?
Oh man, you can probably you got X, right? Can you pull it up?
Yeah. On his or on yours? Should I go to yours?
Go to mine because I quoted something that he said, and then you'll be able to see the whole thing.
All right. Your top one is the Levitt. Oh, she had her baby. Okay. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
all right.
It's not that far down.
Yeah. Shaw, click on your original one. Is her son this big yet? That one?
Keep going. It's
let me share the screen so then you can walk me through it. Is it that one? Right here?
Why is that blurred to me? I don't know. Nope, keep going.
Okay.
It's not that far down. Keep going. Here it is.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I click on this, and then do I need to click on his response?
Yeah, I think his original tweet was irrelevant, I think. And I think I was the one that threw out the fake picture of the child thing. So I just randomly threw it out there. Wasn't even thinking that he was going to respond to it. And then he did. And you can see him and Lisa Knowles in the comments agreeing that the boy is not Erica's, but for some reason they have.
Oh yeah, he said that. Yes, that's true. Yeah, he said that before recently. He said that once before. That the son is clearly not Mac because Mac is 1.5. But is he still claiming that that's Gigi?
Yeah,
he's claiming this child is a 3.5-year-old.
Yeah.
The photo.
He said it. He said it in the comments. I think he said Gigi's with a friend. Now, I think this is the photo that I cleared up with AI. So the date is wrong. I think the date says September 6th, but it's September 9th. Correct. I just cleared up the photo because it was very grainy. So don't mind that.
Yeah.
But he literally said it's not the boy, it's Gigi with a friend. And then Lisa also commented and said something along the lines of the same thing. And I'm like, see who first off, the timestamp says like 8 something in the morning. And it says clearly in the text messages, Erica says verbatim that Aaron, right?
With her
Andrew
kids,
says verbatim.
Plural. Yeah, proof she was with her kids, plural. Don't share, taking them, plural again, for a walk before going to the office. And clearly, this is supposed to be her kids, plural, them, before taking them on a walk.
Right. And so that's what I think he commented to. When he commented that, then I commented back and basically was just like, I'm sorry, Gary. Sorry, words have meanings.
Let's
see. I'm supposed to just ignore.
He says, not her son. It's her daughter with another child. Look, mystery solved. Nope. Look, mystery not solved, actually. But all right. Yeah, that's nuts. They just shift the goalpost,
Man, it's crazy, man. I don't know. Even in the timestamps, Andrew says that taking them for a walk right before they go into the office. I think the timestamp also shows that it was like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So,
8:33.
you got friends over at 8:30 in the morning when the kid just woke up, maybe an hour or so ago.
Yeah,
You're
that
going on
doesn't.
a walk, but you got friends over. You're about to go into the office, but you have friends over. I don't know. I just think that was a huge it's a huge lie.
Yeah,
And,
it is.
I commented on one of my, made a video about it on TikTok. I honestly wonder why Candace has never touched on that picture, like, at all. She's never commented on, and she showed it yesterday in the video, and she described it as, "Here's a picture of Andrew showing Erica with her kids," and she left it at that and kept it pushing.
Yeah.
And I was literally like, "Okay, so this happened back in December when
Mhm.
Erica shared this picture or Andrew shared this picture.
Yeah.
Are we gonna just acknowledge, look, I understand that the kids are off limits. I'm
But
not
these aren't the kids.
They aren't the kids. And when let's just acknowledge that it's fake and we can move on. We don't need
Yeah.
to do a deep dive into if she actually was pregnant, because I think that's pointless.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
she was,
Yeah.
but she provided an alibi and she involved her kids, and it was a lie.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why Candace won't hit on that one piece. Just put it out there because they can't deny that.
Yeah. And who would know better, you know? Candace knows what the kids look like. Candace knows how old the kids are.
Right. Right.
I mean, she could, without even saying Gigi and Mac, without even talking about the kids are still off limits. Let's talk about the validity of the photo. Let's
That's it.
just talk about that the photo's for the wrong date, it's for the wrong time, and these aren't her kids because her kids were 3.5 and 1.5 in September of 25.
Right.
So what to
That's it.
do with that?
That's literally all I've ever wanted her to
Yeah.
just mention. Like Baron's already done it. Baron said
Yeah,
that
yeah.
both of them are fake, and
Yep.
he said he's gonna get to it eventually.
Yeah.
But that was one thing that I was like, you're showing the picture. I think yesterday was the first time she showed the picture since December or maybe
Yeah.
early January when she talked about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm like, man, it's May. I think with I don't know. I don't know her approach with stuff like that, but I just feel like throwing it out there, we ain't got to do a deep dive. Just say, hey, that kid, by the way, not your son. And everybody in the country would know that as well. She
Yeah.
wouldn't be a crazy lady for, speculating that. We've already kind of proven that it's not an 18-month-old.
100%. I think to play devil's advocate for Candace and Baron, they kind of play good cop, bad cop at times. Like they collab, they communicate, they work together. You can tell that like they'll both take two threads of a story because she only does an hour show, right? He does a 45, 30-minute opening. He does about an hour show, and then he does like something more, maybe hours of super chats, right? But for the content of the show, it's about an hour. So that's 2 hours of actual getting to the meat and potatoes of whatever they're wanting to hone in on that week. And they do clearly work together and communicate. And so I think that's also why I think Candace never talked about Brian Hartpole in the video, because Baron did. Baron did do it.
He did.
He did it. And she and him are, they talk to each other and they build one another up. And they say that you can trust Candace, and Candace says you can trust Baron. And so why are you going to double dip? You're going to go over content that your partner, kind of, right? Unspoken partner, has already done a good job. And so
I agree. Now I do wonder why Baron, I know he said that it's coming soon, but like he hasn't done an episode about it. He's acknowledged it, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But neither one of them have hit on it. And I don't know. Maybe it's not, they're focusing on bigger lies, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think did you get to listen to Baron at all today? His kind of any of what he said today?
His episode today? No, not at all.
Yeah, I know it's been a crazy day online. Yeah. I was listening up until like the moment we went live, but I thought he did a great job. He focused on some Allie Beth Stuckey, who's just one of the worst, honestly. Like, oh my goodness. But one of the things he said was, no content creator has to do the will or the wants of any other creator or fan or community member. You know, like if he, if Blake wanted Candace to show the video and he thinks that she should show the video, but she didn't show that's her prerogative. She doesn't have to. However,
He also said in that video today, I watched a little bit of it when you sent it to me. He
yeah.
said he never pressured her.
Who?
Blake.
Yeah.
He said he never pressured her into talking about Brian Harbaugh and all that. And I was like, I don't know, bro. I saw a lot on X. So
yeah, I think so he never texted. It's like an Erica Kirk thing. I didn't see the text messages. You were talking about the signal messages. Oh, right. Yes, the signal messages. Charlie did say he was afraid for his life. And in the same way, like I think what Blake is saying, he didn't text her to pressure her, but for sure there was pressure on X. Go look at that. Like, release the tapes. Why aren't you talking about Brian Harbaugh? Like, why aren't you talking about the video? Like, yeah, there was pressure on X for sure.
Yeah.
And on his YouTube channel, like he would call her out a lot. So I mean, there was pressure there for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I agree that, Baron made a good point that like it's up to the person whose channel it is, like what they decide to show. And however, that means that they have to accept whatever consequence might result in whatever decision that is that they make, whether to show or not show something, like similarly last night when Blake sent me personal communications between him and Candace and an email which verified that he sent her the UVU review video and that she downloaded it. He sent me a super chat at the end and I hadn't checked my phone. It's on silent so it doesn't interfere with the live. And then he sent me a super like, check your phone, show this stuff. And I look at it and we're in a live for one. Like I'm going to have to check it to make sure that there's like her emails on there. I don't know if that's her personal email. Like there's certain things blacked out on there, but I was like, I don't know. I don't have enough time to look through everything to make sure I'm not making a mistake. All I know is it made me really uncomfortable showing it, but I had no problem like not showing it, but telling everyone what it said, that it seems to be a confirmation that he sent her the UVU review video in September and that it seems to confirm that she downloaded it. But also he has an X, he has a YouTube, he can just go do it himself. Like, why does he need me to do it? And that was the other thing that was weird. When I did research on Brian Harbaugh, like the previous campus events videos, and I found that Brian Harbaugh stood like this all the time. All the time.
Yeah. I think I was listening to your live last night.
He literally stood like this all the time. Yes, it's weird, but he did stand like this. Blake hit me up and was like, send me all the screenshots of all the campus events of him standing like that. And then I was like, bro, you know how long the campus events are? You want me to go back through and re-find each one and then find the timestamp, stop it. And like, you do it. And then he's like, you need to post it. I'm like, you do it. You got an X, you have a YouTube, do it. And yeah, so I think he was mad that I didn't share it last night, but I just wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing when Candace brought it up because I listened to a little bit of Blake and Danks before we got on, and yeah, he was making claims that pretty much contradicted what Candace said. I also found it interesting when Candace brought everything up front on her video yesterday. He immediately deactivated his X. I don't know if it was because he didn't want all the comments flooding, and because she has a large audience and stuff. But it is interesting that he's listed in the lawsuit, but not
named as someone being
very odd. But again, he has raised a lot of valid points and concerns and claims about Brian Harbaugh. I don't think that it's that crazy.
Correct.
Now, one kind of wonders if I had to play devil's advocate and just say Blake is, kind of like an informant.
Yeah.
Was he trying to get Candace to agree and double down and triple down and kind of go with what he was saying about Brian Harbaugh? And then boom, the lawsuit come out of her being on record actually accusing Brian Harbaugh. Like I don't know. I go back and forth just trying
Yeah.
to figure out his intentions on everything, because he for sure was on X was
Yeah.
extremely heavy on Candace to show this, and he was going at her for a minute. I literally
Yeah.
was like, man, I remember when Blake was, let's just say, the good side, and he was just, all about research and
Yeah.
all of that. And then I feel like there was a period that was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks when he was going at Baron, going at Candace.
Yeah.
And it was very odd. So I don't really know what to make out of everything that went down yesterday. I really don't know, but that's the drama of it.
You know, when you look at kind of like his story of what it is, and you just kind of look at Blake for who he is. First of all, I'll say that like people have doxed him, right? Jason Goodman and others. Like there's been full X spaces dedicated to like proving he's a Fed informant, that he was at UVU, that he paid someone for the video. None of it has ever come to fruition. Like literally masses across the United States and some people in Canada and other places in London and England and across the world have tried and claimed that he is not just an average citizen, and none of it has proven to be true. And my suspicion is that if any of that were true, it would have come out by now.
Right.
I think one of the things with Blake is that he's pretty hot-headed, right? I think, honestly, this is just my interpretation from my experience with him. He's very passionate that he thinks he's solved it. He's 100% that he solved it. And he believes that, I think, to the deepest core of his being. And so for him, when he like shares a video and he believes that this video is like the smoking gun, and he shares it with people that have massive channels, I think he concluded some sort of malice, or like there must be some sort of mischievous reason why they didn't cover it. And I think then he just went, I think he makes up his mind and he's just so sure of it sometimes. And her not sharing it or not, talking about it enough or whatever to him means that she's like doing it, because I think he says that she's protecting TPUSA. I don't think so. I don't think that she's protecting Erica, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't either. I think she has shared her position many times, and I think we all can kind of agree that she is public enemy number one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I found it strange. Again, if I'm gonna take Blake's side for a little bit, I'm gonna say that it was kind of strange for I guess her to lead with kind of implying that she had some information about Blake.
Yes.
Because I thought we was about to be like, oh, okay, now that everybody said something about Blake, we're about to find it all, about to find out about it all right now.
Yes.
And so I was waiting, and towards the end, she was like, if y'all know anything, let me know.
Keep
and I was
digging.
like, whoa, what?
So a call to action.
Yeah, that was odd, because I don't know. I see both sides. I see
same
how she probably feels like he was playing her, and how he can kind of be maybe an insider that's trying to trap her. And then I can see his side of he's bringing receipts like, hey, I'll show her this, when she told her audience that I didn't show her this, or so I see both sides. It's very odd, but I definitely think at the end of the day, I think where Blake's, let's just say his heart is at, because I don't know the guy, but I think he's on the right side.
I think
like
so.
Just trying to figure out what happened. So I don't want this to be some type of divide and take too much time into figuring out who Blake is. And it's like, I don't really think we should be doing all that.
No, I agree. And you can tell that there's people on X, there's specific people that their sole focus is not to bring any contribution to this space, even as like you and me, that we comment and we give our opinion and we share other people's content. These other people, their whole contribution is attacking other people and trying to prove that they're like a Fed, or that, and it's like, that's all they do. And it's like, that's That's more suspicious to me than anything. Yeah, I think Blake genuinely wants to solve this. I just think his emotions get the best of him, and I think he acts impulsively at times, and he can be hot headed. He's even admitted that. And I think he could be too sure of himself. Like, I think he's positive on things. Like, he thinks it's 100% solved, and it's, everything he's laid out is what it is. And who knows? It may be. It literally may be. But he's also like 100% positive that like Candace is whatever, doing whatever, and you know what I mean. And it's like, man, we don't know that at all. But
Everything's speculation. We 8 months in, and we literally don't have much to say this is definitively, what it is. We don't know. Everything is speculation, even all the lies. Like, I mean, we can kind of verify the lies, but
yeah,
we can't really back that up with much besides you're lying.
That's what I said, I think yesterday, the day before, that I said, I'm going to be so pissed off if we make it to September 10th this year and we're not any closer to solving this.
Yeah.
If there's tributes, I'll go to a tribute. I'll lead a tribute or a vigil for Charlie, but I'm going to be so pissed if we get to that date and we're not any closer.
I agree.
But we have a lot of other information about this person and that person and, the connection here and there. Then it's like, I'm just going to be frustrated,
I agree. I think yeah, September is crazy. I don't even want to look that far down the road and say we haven't gotten anywhere. So hopefully we are somewhere, but sometimes when you look at everything and you take a step back, it does make you wonder if we will. Obviously optimistic about it, but when you look at stuff like the AI video of Erica walking out to Charlie's voice, appointing her to CEO, this is one of the first times I would probably say that Candace is like applying pressure to one certain point, and I love that.
Yeah.
And that's what she's doing. Like, every time Blake responds or comments, she's right in the comment section like, hey, while you're here, can you talk about the AI clip or whatever? So I love that, because I wish, obviously she got a lot of things to do, but a lot of the claims that she makes and all the things that we have found, sometimes I'm like, can we apply pressure to figure out the answer to this before we like move on?
Yep.
So I feel like she's doing that with the AI clip, and it just makes you wonder, like, every time she responds and says that, Blake goes ghost, nobody responds. So at this point, I think Ian Carroll said it the other day. He was like, I think at this point we know that it's fake. So
yeah,
now with this information, where do we go from here? Because they're clearly lying on Charlie.
Yeah.
He never said that. They created this clip to make it seem like Erica's supposed to be in this position. So now that we know that this is as dark as it is, what do we do with this information?
Yeah.
And I don't know. What do we do? Because it's not like we can prove that it's fake, because they just don't reply.
Yeah.
But what happens from here? The feds aren't going to get involved because the feds are in on it. So how do we ever get to a solution when the people that are supposed to help us are actively working against us?
Agreed 100%. Like, I put an analogy, like, we have all these presents that have been wrapped and the bow was begun to be put on and it was tied and then just left. The bow was never finished. And it's like, we have all these half wrapped presents where it's like, what do we do with all this stuff? It's like, we have all these threads and these leads and these possibilities and allegations and weird things, but nothing has been seen through to the end where we know, like the Egyptian, like anything, all of it. It's just been, we go and then we take a right turn. And it's like, I don't know, man.
I think the best that we'll get, to be honest, like, if I'm just gonna throw out my guess on where we'll be in September, is we'll expose a lot. I think, like Candace says, like, we don't know, but we know. I think we'll know the truth, and a lot of people will be exposed. I don't think their reputation will be ruined, because clearly they're backed by crazy maniacs that go online, and regardless of the lies, somehow they just don't care and they just push push for Erica and all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
I think we'll know the truth, and I think that'll pretty much be it, is that they'll be exposed to us, the people that care for the truth, and we'll look back in history and say, look at all the things that we found out about Erica, all the things we found out about Andrew Colbert and all that. But I think it'll just be swept under the rug. Because if you really think about it, with the files, Donald Trump and several other people that still exist to this day are in the files.
Yep.
And what happens? All we say is, hey, isn't it crazy that Donald Trump is in the files? And we just say, yeah, man, like, did you see all the things that it said? Yeah, man, but that's about it. We don't get, nothing's going to come from it. You know, we're just going to move on knowing that you are a weirdo. And I think that that's all we'll pretty much be able to say, is that we know the truth, but what else can we do?
And that's kind of, I think, I don't know if it was Candace or Barron that was like, we don't want Charlie Kirk to turn into JFK 2.0, where we we literally do know certain people that were involved in the JFK assassination, and it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald. But we've never had, governmental admission. We've never had accountability. Most of the people are dead and gone by now. But the fear was that this was going to be the same thing, that we, the people, would know through our own independent investigations, but that there would be no real accountability. No one's going to be arrested, go to jail, and we're never going to have the people in power admit to it.
No, they can't. I mean, it would be out in themselves. And and next you know, we would be seeing different FBI agents being locked up because, oh, this person was the actual person that blocked Joe Ken, and it would just go down the line. It never ends. So, you have to, I think we talked about this last time, in order for us to be at a point where, what we want is the truth and people to get arrested, it would ultimately take so many people to come out and apologize for gaslighting us. So if you can't see that happening, then that's just what it's going to be. Because I don't see JD Vance coming out and apologizing. He's somebody that plays guilt on Tyler Robertson without the trial happening. Donald Trump has done it. All the Erica soldiers on X have done it. I don't see any of them coming out whenever this trial happens, and or in general, saying, we're sorry, the conspiracy theories were right. Candace, out of all people, was right. I don't see that happening. So I think at the end of the day, we will, if we just looking at both sides, I think our side, we're able to kind of accept how this world is already, as far as how evil it is. So like, when Tyler Robinson is found guilty one day, because I already said that he's either not going to make it to trial or he's going to take a plea so quick, and it's not going to make any sense, and then it's over. And so like, we already see that coming. They don't see the other side to it. They don't see the side of like, man, one day am I going to have to apologize to X? They don't see that, because they're one dimensional. So we can actually see both sides to it. Hopefully we're right, but at the same time, we probably know that Tyler Robinson is going to plead guilty, and we're going to have to see everybody on X say, oh, he's guilty. He had his day in court. Don't say anything. Like, that's just how it's going to be.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. The preliminary, it looks like, I mean, I think Barron was talking about it tonight, that we'll find out in a couple days if the preliminary hearing is actually going to go forward on the 18th of this month.
Okay, because they requested an extension, right?
Yeah, but he hasn't ruled on it yet. But he's supposed to, I guess there was a couple documents that Barron was going to go over tonight. I'll have to go back and watch after, either later tonight or tomorrow. But because some documents came out about what evidence is going to be that the prosecution listed. They had to list and it was all over X today, what evidence they're going to bring forth at the preliminary hearing. And he said he found some things really weird that are on there and some things that aren't on there. But that most likely, it looks like, based on everything this judge has done so far, that it's probably the hearing's going to happen on the 18th. It might not, but that it most likely is.
Wow.
Yeah, this judge, it looks like at every turn, he's kind of there to make sure this trial goes off without a hitch, right? He's supposed to look impartial, but I think his whole job is to just make sure that it continues and that it's going to be resolved the way it's supposed to be resolved, whether that be a plea or whether they Lee Harvey him in transfer one day when they're transferring Tyler Robinson and, they have someone off him, which would be so tragic. Or he takes the plea, or he is just found guilty by a jury of his peers because the trial was rigged against him, and the defense wasn't able to ever mount an adequate defense, and that sucks. I think that's kind of it's like apathy that we've all accepted how corrupt and disgusting the ruling people are, and this whole system is so bad that we could all know it's wrong, but that it's going to happen anyway.
100%. I don't see it any other way either. Like I said, that's exactly what I think is going to happen, and we all pretty much agree.
Howard Lutnick, right? He's the guy that actually said that he distanced himself from Jeffrey back after the 2005 conviction, but never did. And he is on Trump's administration, Howard Lutnick, and he works hand in hand with Jared Kushner. If you ever you want to watch a weird interview, watch the Jared Kushner, Howard Lutnick 60-minute interview where he starts saying something and he goes, yeah, we had the plans to rebuild Gaza 2 years before the 2023. And Jared Kushner has a visceral reaction that he cannot fight. And he freaks out and he's staring at him like, shut up, bro. What are you doing right now? And the lady was like, you guys had the rebuilding plans for Gaza before October 7th? How would that even be? Right. And then Jared Kushner and his, talks him out of it, but it's just was so weird. But Howard Lutnick, right, clearly had ties to him, is going to be deposed in a closed session hearing either this week or next week on the Jeffrey files. Who knows? We'll probably never see. Just like the Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and the Lex Wexner one, that was all for show. What happened with that? They deposed them. We saw the depositions. What came of it? Nothing. It was to make it look like they were actually investigating these people. It was a show trial. They were just deposing them. Nothing's coming of it. Oh, look, we did our job. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about when they
Yeah.
They'll just keep doing that with people that were named in it, but nothing will ever come of it.
Yeah.
No one's getting arrested. This guy
is sick.
Yeah. Let me read a couple of these and then we'll get to the next part, right? Okay. Jed said, BB sell Bay's secret recordings of CO talking about Brian Harpole. Jed, how do you expect me to make sense of that? Can you make sense of that?
Blake Bednar, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
Sell Bay's secret recordings.
Yes, of CO talking about Brian Harpole. I don't know what Bay's is.
Sell Bay's.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, I'd answer it, man, if I knew what it meant. Let's go to the next one. We got Mystic said, hey, Jay, we're so happy to have you here with us tonight. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the BLB family always. I appreciate it, Mystic.
Mystic's the best. And then we got Erica Kitten Kirk. Yo, I'm not going to
that profile picture.
Yes. At first, those big do you ever watch UFC?
Yeah, sometimes.
The guys from Kyrgyzstan, they wear those big Russian fuzzy furry hats. That's what I thought it was. And then I looked yesterday, I was like, oh no, it's an afro. She's supposed to be Black Panther. I think, right? Isn't that what the photo is?
Yeah.
CO lied on Blake. We don't know that. Someone could have other people said someone else on her team could have downloaded that file, right? Who knows, dude? It maybe not though. I don't know. Okay, Matt and Jay, much needed collab tonight. Crazy day, solid energy. Thanks, BLB crew. Thank you, Jim Bear. All right. I also like want to have part of this show to be like a tribute to Charlie. I got some really cool clips pulled up of him and stuff. But go ahead and ask your questions about whatever you wanted to ask.
Well, one of
Already
them
today,
is this is regarding yesterday.
Okay.
One of the ones that came to my mind is you know, we finally have like a motive for the Mikey McCoy thing. I know me and you was talking about it a little bit offline as far as like, why would Mikey McCoy reach out to Candace? It doesn't make any sense, all of that. So, you know, yesterday, Candace released a video. I mean, her episode, she kind of implied her motive on why she outed Mikey. And it was, you know, pretty much like forcing Mikey's hand is what I got. Mikey, she kind of guilt tripped him a little bit. Charlie loved you. You can come to the good side and all of that stuff. But what do you make out of that situation now that you know a little bit more, at least on Mikey? Because I think we both agree that it didn't make sense at all last Thursday. So where are you at now with the information that was released yesterday? Kind of just like her motive a little bit. Does it make sense to you now, or are you still kind of confused?
I mean, all her explanation did was explain why she outed him.
Yeah.
It doesn't explain why he, back in December, would have reached out to her with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I think
that's the part that doesn't make sense. That's the part for me that doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because, right, so he's working there. He's a young kid. He's newly married. He's got a young wife who's pregnant at the time. They're going to have their first baby. She works there. So literally their whole household income comes from TPUSA. And he's going to, in December, ahead of the meeting with Erica, going to reach out to the number one enemy and say that someone really high up in TPUSA is evil and you should, you know, look into him. I just haven't, no one's given me a good possible like reason why he would do that. I mean, it's been floated like, oh, to get the you know, the target off of his back. Okay, it just puts a different target on his back now. Like, yeah, we had a target on his back for him taking the phone and walking away within 0.008 seconds of, you know, the Big Bang. But now that would put a target on his back from within his own organization, you know? So it's like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I agree. I'm on the same page. I saw, you know, again, I understand her motive a little bit as far as, again, forcing Mikey's hand.
To do what though? To come out and confirm it, or to literally leave TPUSA and come to her?
I just think she purposefully put Mikey in the position in that awkward position on purpose. Like, she pretty much was like, you're either gonna walk around TPUSA as the known snitch, or Charlie loved you, do the right thing. You know, Charlie knew how great you were gonna be. Like, when she went into that a little bit, it was almost like she was trying to get like that side of Mikey to realize that he has time to turn back. But then when, you know, I heard all that and I was like, I get that, I get what you're doing, but there's no turning back with this, right? There's no, I'm gonna go to Candace to make all of this better.
No,
like, he's screwed.
No.
So I understood it, but I still was like, that doesn't make sense to me either, because he's not gonna come out to you now. You know, he has no choice but to go to a lawyer or somebody. So somebody that's not Candace. Right, or take it to the grave. Right. So, you know, I understood what she was saying and implying on where her position was, but I still was like, that doesn't, I think the only thing that happened here is we just put Mikey in the hot seat, and now that's pretty much it. And he's gonna walk around as a snitch. He's gonna walk around, and God forbid something happens to him. We don't know, but I don't think we're gonna get more information from this happening.
No, and what's worse is it almost begs you to forget about the UVU review video, And that homeboy within 0.008 seconds had a phone to his ear, thumb in his other ear, turned the opposite way so he didn't have to see Charlie's body. So he turned his back. He didn't turn this way, okay, like towards him where Charlie's falling body would be in his view. He turned and walked away. He didn't duck. He didn't react to the bang. He didn't hide. He's a civilian. He like, how does he not know that there's other shooters back there? He doesn't run.
Could have been
doesn't hide.
Straight into it.
Another shooter.
Yep.
It may, and then he just briskly walks, not like panically runs and gets, and then we see him in video hiding behind a car calling 911.
Right.
No, he just keeps. It's just like he Forrest Gumps this thing, and he just freaking walks and he just keeps walking. And then we see him and Blake meet up down at the end of the street, and they're like talking, and it's like, I don't know, like how does
I don't know. And I just saw after yesterday's video, a lot of people kind of went to that conclusion of forgetting what Mikey actually did and the role that he played, and everybody was, you know, coming to Mikey's defense, like, oh yeah, Mikey's gonna come out, he has a soul and all of that. And I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of what Candace was implying as well in her video, was that Mikey was a good guy. That's kind of how I was getting from that. So, you know, I don't really understand that at all, because she knows that he's not a good guy. She singled him out several times on her videos and podcasts from months ago. So,
so let's actually
I don't know
look at that. Because that's right when you were talking, that's what I was thinking about, was that and that was one of Blake's issues with her, was she used the UVU review video for the Mikey McCoy segment. That the video where she zoomed in on him walking behind and walking off, that's the UVU review video. That is the video he sent to her. It's just we're only looking at the part of the bang and then him walking away. And so she did designate like a whole show to Mikey McCoy being, you know, at that time in October, November, December, whenever it happened in the fall, which is weird. It definitely happened before December. I don't know. Definitely. I'd have to look at when she did that video. But that she designated a whole video to how suspicious and like guilty this behavior looks, and for an explanation, which they never gave. And then actually they lied. They lied about when he called who he called first. Right. And then remember, Erica brought supposedly his phone call records from that day, and they contradict what actually happened. He called his wife first, then he three-wayed Erica, then he got off the phone and he called his dad, then he got off the phone and called JD Vance. And so, yeah, it's like, and that's the other thing. It's like, are we ever going to get answers to some of these things? Are we ever going to know, like, just
I mean, we can say that about almost everything, to be honest. I'm surprised that we got somewhat of an answer tonight on I don't know if you watched Candace today, but somewhat of an answer you did with the, you know, with the White House video. It seems like she's getting somewhere with that, and she got some leads onto who recorded it and all of that. But some of the things with involving the Charlie Kirk investigation, we just, you know, we make claims, it's out there, people look guilty, but we can't really confirm anything.
No, and that's what's frustrating. And
I can hear you. Let me turn my camera off real quick.
Okay. I shouldn't have pulled my chair away. Now it's gonna hit the desk when I pull forward. What was I gonna say? I forget what I think Barron was going to talk about the White House correspondence video being AI. I think he thinks it's AI.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, and I finally figured out how the supers work. I can see when it comes from my channel. If you really think about it, because that's another thing that makes me sick on how we're lied to constantly by our administration, by our government. And I guess it's any administration. So I guess government in general, because Cole Allen runs through the thing, right? I don't even think he had a gun in his hand, but the AI enhanced, or I don't want to say AI, the official enhanced video that they provided us. Don't know how it wasn't that clear on day one, but somehow they were able to make it that clear. Now he has a gun in his hand. And to me, it seems like it has a scope on it if you really zoom in. And the shotty that they posted it doesn't have a scope on it.
No.
So this is one of those things where I'm like, am I being gaslit? Because I can see a scope, but I know that it doesn't have a scope. But whatever, we can get past that. He shoots at a cop from point blank range with a shotgun
and misses.
And you're telling me he missed, or I don't know. They're saying he missed, and then I'm like, let's just say I don't have they confirmed that it was friendly fire, because we knew that, but did they confirm it yet?
I mean, Ian Carroll pretty much, I think, confirmed it, but they haven't admitted it. You've seen the video where the guys, Alan Cole's running across, and the LEO on this side turns and he shoots like 5 rounds, and there's like 4 officers on the wall. One drops to the ground and like gets up and then falls over again, and then it has to be like carried out. And by that time, we know that he was already tackled. So
exactly.
So
why it doesn't make sense, because it was friendly fire, but let's just say they haven't confirmed that, and they say Cole Allen shot somebody. If he took a shotgun to the chest, there's no amount of a bulletproof vest that you just wouldn't flinch if it happened. You know what I mean? And that cop, I guess, ate the shotgun bullet to the chest and was still able to fire 5 times without feeling any of the shotgun that was just hit. You know what I mean? Or the bullet that was just hit.
He had a chest of steel too.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So like these blatant lies that are out there that are, I mean, I would just say confirmed, and our government, the feds, nobody's going to acknowledge the issues that we have with these footages. The officer and the dog, I mean, I was about to say the dog seems like they're talking to Cole Allen, but the officer seemed like he was literally talking to Cole Allen in the hallway. And in less than a second, he runs out with a shotgun in his hand. You're telling me you didn't see the shotgun before? You telling me he pulled it in from where? Within under a second? You know what I mean? It's so many different things that don't make sense, and they won't even acknowledge it. They're already moving on to the trial and the things that Cole Allen has been appearing at and stuff like that. They're moving on. They're already talking about life in prison. And I'm like, there are so many issues with this video, and we're just not going to discuss it. So like it annoys me, man.
Have you seen, there was a movie on Amazon with Steve, I think what's the guy's name from The Office? Steve Carell, right?
Yeah.
And it's these 3 social media like billionaires, and they meet at this like retreat, or it's 4 of them. And they meet at this like retreat house, like beautiful. And the whole premise is that they've developed different AI tech, and that this AI tech has then been weaponized to produce false news. And then the public believes all the videos they're seeing, and it causes riots and wars and insanity. And they're like held up in this mansion in like the Alps or something. I think I'm trying to figure out if I believe in predictive programming. I believe they release things prior to like kind of soft launch things that are about to happen. It seems that they are slowly wanting us to disbelieve our eyes and ears and not believe anything we see online.
Yeah.
They're wanting, like, I think one of the first things we really saw that has, been part of this is the Butler PA, and then, cause now look what it does. You don't believe the real ones when the real ones are there. So it allows them to lie about the real ones. Like Charlie Kirk, people are saying that was fake. Right. But then now there's people believing the fake ones. And it's like, it just creates this perfect storm for all the controlling people in power and we know, remember Kash Patel said they used AI enhanced video for the Tyler Robinson footage. Do you remember when he said that? We enhanced the photos. These are the enhanced photos. And so no doubt they enhanced the Cole Allen photo, and it's just like, oh, they enhanced it so well that he had nothing, and then enhancement, and he's got, it's like, wow, look what it appeared when we enhanced it. And then it's like nothing. It just completely means like nothing will ever happen ever again. Like
Yeah.
no
Whatever
accountability.
story they want to, whatever narrative they want to push,
Mhm,
they can just create that photo
mhm.
and say that it's facts.
Yep.
Plaster it all over the news and say this is it. And it's like, what can we do besides say that it's fake?
Mhm.
When the government posted, when the feds posted, that's pretty
Yep.
much it.
Yep. Yeah, it's nuts. Let me read this one that just popped up. We got Republic Tea Room said, when Blake Bednar said CO has lots of folks on her side who fight against him, he forgets Erica Kirk has the power of the White House propaganda on her side who fight all of us. Next.
Who's Real Bays though? I don't even know who that is.
It's a nobody.
I'm
He's a,
behind.
he's a nobody. I'm not even.
But you do know who that is though?
Yeah, him and a bunch of people attacked me personally.
Oh, okay.
So did you watch the live today with Danks and Blake Bednar's?
A little bit, like the first 25-ish minutes.
Did you see?
Oh, and thank you for the Super Republic Tea Room. I know that came from my page.
How can you tell?
The little paper clip.
Oh, there you go. Okay, okay, cool job. I didn't know that until today. I was always wondering how I know when I do lives with collabs, like whose is whose, because it all pops up on here. But that little paper clip means it came from your
paper
side.
Clip.
Okay, cool. There was a part where Danks played a video of Bays attacking me and attacking Blake. First, I'll just say this. Thank you so much for giving me all this attention. I'm not even offended that this whole video, do you think the Candace Owens and Blake Bednar's beef and the Brian Harple lawsuit have anything to do with me? Yeah. So why would Danks make over half of the live today about me?
But what involves you? Like, what did he say?
So in my opinion, he tried to have a gotcha moment with Blake. Okay. He doesn't like me personally. I've never attacked Danks or Bays or Kelly or Jordan personally. My issue with them is that they're spouting a theory that does nothing positive to this investigation, saying that Charlie Kirk is alive and that he faked his death. That's all of them.
Okay.
They're all working together on it. And and I've never even done a lot of content on them. I don't spend a lot of time and energy on them at all. I don't think about them at all. I've, broken down a couple videos when, people are doing their tests out in the field and it's like, you didn't recreate anything. That's ridiculous, but okay. And yeah, that's it. But aside from that, him trying to get Blake publicly to distance himself from me, to attack me, to say things negatively about me, I found it flattering. Criticism is one of the highest forms of flattery. The fact that I came up at all, I started my channel in January, dude. Like January.
Killing it, man.
and like people like Danks, I'm coming out of the mouth of people that have been in a space for how long? And it's like, thanks, man. I don't take it personally. I appreciate the PR. Awesome. And Blake didn't attack me today anyways, so that's fine. But I don't know why someone's trying to say, Bays is anyone to listen to. I don't think so, but whatever. Let's see. What's another question you got from today? And then other things will come to me.
Yeah. Hold on, let me pull it back up. And I listened to a little bit of Blake. For one, what I noticed immediately is that when he popped up on the screen, he seemed pretty, I don't know, his facial expressions, he seems out of it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if social media got to him a lot today, the last 2 days, But I noticed that when he came up on the screen, I was like, man, he looks kind of
Not himself.
yeah. So that was weird because I don't know, what he got going on. But also even when he was going through stuff, again, I was kind of confused on his position of saying I never went at Candace, because that was one of my questions of like, you were talking to him probably several times. I think I know I seen one show of you talking with Blake. So after probably listening to the entire video with Danks, would you say Blake is the true victim of this? Because he's obviously taking the position of Candace is a liar, none of that's true, this, that, and the third, all of that, or would you say Blake definitely has done things that he is not admitting to, but you do play a role, like you are at fault a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, what's your position on that, knowing that you've probably had several conversations with Blake?
Yeah. I mean, I think one of my own, suggestions to him is to not self-destruct and not to, do more damage than good. And I think he's learned that along the way. Like I've said many times, he can be very hot-headed and impulsive and say everything that's on his mind before thinking about it. I think he's definitely played a part in his own, attacks. He doesn't deserve to be doxxed. He doesn't deserve for personal attacks. He doesn't deserve for family to. No one does. No one does. It should be about facts and about stuff related to the case. But when he honed in on Candace and went hard to it, he should have understood that was going to do something. And I think that played a role in everything that's happened since. Did I answer that?
No, you did.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my biggest things, was listening to his side of the story, because obviously there's always two sides to it. And again, I'm not knowing the guy at all and listening to what he was saying, he makes valid points.
Yeah.
I think his presentation and delivery is
Correct.
a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
But he made
No.
he made valid points, and I do think that some of the things that he presented that Candace said didn't happen did happen. So
it looks like that, at least. Yeah,
it looks like that. Yeah, right.
it does
So
look like that.
I mean, I don't know. I was listening to a lot of things that he was saying and tweets and people that are having their takes on it and stuff. I don't think he's the true victim, because he has attacked, said things on the internet that definitely insinuated that he was not a fan of Candace or Barron.
Correct.
But
correct. Yeah. You got another one?
Not at the moment. I was scrolling through my.
All right. I think we're caught up on the chats. Yeah. What was I going to say? All right. I can't think off the top of my head, so I'm going to play something. Oh, I already have it pulled up. No, that's you. I need to get out of there. I need to go back to my profile and then scroll down to this clip, which I thought was really cool, of Charlie. It's like a clip of him when he's young. I'll make it big in a second. Hold on. Oh, no, I can't do that. It's got music.
Yeah.
Dang it. Wait, I can.
How old was Charlie in this video?
18. Very young. Yeah. I wish I could play with the music, but I mean, it just shows a really young Charlie before any people came and started taking advantage of him and using him for their ends and means,
Man, he was a good dude, man.
Yeah.
He was a good dude. And I'm never going to forget, because I just didn't know all of this about him until September 10th. I wish I knew way more,
Yeah.
before his demise, obviously. But
Yeah. He never came up
so
on like your Facebook feeds. You never saw like his campus event videos, like on Facebook, like his campus tour events, like destroying libs on San Francisco University.
yeah, no, like I might have seen a thumbnail, but nothing ever made me sit down and watch it. I never was, it just wasn't my thing, at all. I probably was focusing on so many other things, but no. So like literally as soon as September 10th happened, I literally was like, who would want him dead in that type of way?
Yeah,
And everybody's reaction. And I was like, bro, who is this guy for all of this to be going on right now?
yeah,
Um, and yeah, when I researched them and pulled them up a little bit, um, I just couldn't believe it because literally like the first 3 videos I found, I was like, bro, this dude seems like the nicest guy ever. Like he's a
yeah,
cool guy. I'm loving his conversation and his dialogue.
yep,
And the more I continue to go down that rabbit hole of like who he was, at least based on the internet, he just seemed like a great guy. Like
yeah,
every person he talked to, I came across so many videos where, like, I remember one specific one of a dad and a son. They went to the mic together, and the dad and the son were going back and forth saying they have different political views, and the
yeah.
son was saying he doesn't understand me, and the dad was like he's lost, and Charlie literally brought them together
Oh
and and
wow,
and made like they pretty much left there like hugging
on
and
better
smiling with each
terms.
other.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
I just, man, it's crazy.
yeah. I think for me, and I've followed him a lot. I didn't know about all of this like Philly stuff that was going on and other pressure with the bombing of Fort Doe and him not wanting us to be involved in the war in Iran. But also, he was privy to so much more inside information than all of us normal people. So there was stuff going on that like him and Tucker and Joe Kent were all privy to that none of us were aware. Like we weren't getting the signals. Well, okay, I was getting the signals the war drums were beating when BB visited 7 times in a year. And I was like, yeah, that's weird. He visited 6 times in 4 years at the last presidency. He's 7 times in 12 months. That's weird. And each time he's talking about Iran and they're 2 weeks away. And even after the bombing of Fordo, we destroyed all of their nuclear programs. A week later, they're 2 weeks away. And it's like, oh, okay. But aside from that, I didn't really know like any of this other stuff. And I think we found out so much more of the inner workings of TPUSA, and none of these people were famous before, like Andrew Colvett,
Right,
Blake
right.
Knapp, Tyler Boyer, even Erica Kirk. She wasn't famous yet, she was probably locally known in Arizona for being Miss Arizona, and
I had no idea who she was. Like I knew the name Charlie Kirk. I had no idea he was married, no idea he had 2 kids,
I had
no
seen
clue who that woman was.
I knew her name and I'd seen her because like you go look at like their young women's leadership summit. They would speak at events together, like TPUSA Christian events. And so like I'd seen her, I'd seen them again, but I had no understanding of who she was. And honestly, my impression of her from what I had seen just on this, like from the outside in, was she seemed like a good Christian wife and mom. And I was like, it never occurred to me that she could be not good. It never occurred to me that what we're seeing today, that all the people around Charlie and the donors and his wife and her mom, and that everything turned out this way. I
So
never.
if you had to, I give you 3. You might just have 1. If you had to pick 3 out of the biggest, the biggest red flags, the biggest lie, I guess you would say, for Erica Kirk to be on your bad side, to say no, that's definitely crazy, and she is no longer, like you said, good in my eyes, if you want to say that. What are like 3 of the biggest things that she's done since 9/10 that made you look um you know different of her?
She lied and said that he wasn't turning on his views on Philly. she lied and said he didn't send texts the night before, that he was afraid for his life. She lied about the alibi, the photo, right? She's like, if I were to go back and look at all my, because I focused so much on her in the beginning of this channel, all of her different interviews, it would be, I think I've watched more Erica Kirk from September 10th today than most any people. Like the whole show was devoted to her, because I'm not an investigator. I have a full-time job. I can't do what some of these other guys do. I don't have a team. There's just no way I could do anything like that. And so, but I wanted to provide, I have a master's in psychology. I wanted to provide, you know, some sort of contribution to this. And one place I could start was, I was very suspicious that, you know, she did the casket scene, that she did the video of her with Stacey Sheridan in the gray Cadillac Escalade, and she holds up the necklace and she's like crying for show. She's on the tarmac being comforted by Stacey Sheridan, and then there's a big space, and then there's Charlie's parents. We never see her and Charlie's parents comforting each other ever. That's weird. Then she's at the White House for the receiving of the medal, the honoring the medal for Charlie. Again, it's her, Stacey Sheridan, two chairs, Charlie's mom, Charlie's dad. We never see them ever hugging her or her hugging them, and that was very weird. We never hear her talk publicly about the parents. So there's that. Then, you know, she forgives Tyler Robinson like 8-9 days after. That's really weird. The whole, like, she's stepping into CEO within 72 hours, and she's touching the chair with the necklace dangling from her fingers, saying, this chair, this chair. Like, just the weirdest, the casket scene. Like, I mean, where did it start? Like, everything. Then she's not talking about Candace, and like, then like they're supposed to sit down with Candace, Blake Neff, and Andrew Colvett, act like they're going to be so transparent, like the Trump administration. We're the most transparent administration ever. We're going to release all the files on everything, and we're prosecuting everyone. Come time to prosecute and to release the files. Files who? What? Prosecute? What are you talking about? Bill, he's my friend. I think it's sad that he's being lumped into this. Me and Bill go way back. Like, whoa, dude. Like, she's doing the same thing. Blake and freaking Andrew are like, we're going to sit down. You have 24 hours to confirm your presence, Candace Owens. Oh, didn't confirm? You can't come in person? Denied. You're evil. We're not talking to you anymore. And then she releases stuff on Fort Huachuca, and then all of a sudden Erica flies out, and just everything, honestly. All of it.
I agree.
I
agree. I'm, you know, similar to you. I think I crack up on the very first video I think you saw of my channel, and I think I saw your reaction, and you were like, I was like, yeah, I'm a regular guy. I don't have time to do this and that. I don't have a team. And you were like, that's me. I'm normal too. But I'm the same way. I pretty much, I wish I could deep dive into things. That way I don't have to wait for answers.
Right.
But you know, like, just similar to you, I can't. So a lot of times I just provide commentary. And you know, Erica she's also somebody that has been on my topics on all of my social media platforms, because I think out of everybody, she was like the most obvious liar. You know, she obviously proved that she was a liar, but she was the one that was moving weird. Her behavior was weird.
None of it.
Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, they were weird, but you kind of had to do a little bit more. You know, we kind of needed Barron and Candace for them. But Erica, I thought everybody across this country, really the world, saw so many different red flags as a wife, as a husband who would think or imagine having a wife like that. Just so many different things, you know, having, you know, one thing is so many things that piss me off with her. But one thing that you didn't mention was her having his enemies on stage at AmFest, opening up. Because I get it. People love to throw out there, oh, Ben spoke at one before, or all of that. It's a big difference between
Yep.
speaking at it, and then opening up Amfest
Yep.
with Ben Shapiro. So, when I saw that, the fact that he came right after her, and then he proceeded to just spew the most hate ever. They love talking about spewing hate when it comes to, Philly, but he gets up there and he just spewed nothing but hate amongst, you know, fellow Americans with Megan and Candace and Tucker and all that other stuff. And so when Ben Shapiro opened up, I was like, that is crazy, just from a loyalty perspective, knowing that your husband wasn't the best of friends with some of these people, and now they're on your husband's platform, they're on your husband's stage. Ben Shapiro was in the Charlie Kirk studio when he was like, I'm giving y'all $1 million, you know what I mean? And so it makes you wonder, if Charlie was sitting right across the table, would he take that money? You know what I mean? Like, I know that he was changing towards the last days. Maybe a year ago he might have took it, but in those final days, I don't see Charlie sitting across the table from Ben Shapiro saying, I'll take your $1 million. You know what I mean? So, like, seeing her just be so cool with the people that stressed her husband out,
Yeah.
that is really what got me, because I'm just I feel like everybody's like a huge loyalty thing. Like, that's big for everybody. If someone breaks your trust, you're just truly heartbroken. It's hard to gain it back with anything, relationships, friendships, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So seeing her do that, and Charlie's not here to even feel that.
Yeah.
I can still feel it for him. I'm just
Yeah.
watching all of these different things go around, and seeing Candace be one of the only friend, we're talking about his circle, one of the only friends that came to his defense, and was loud about it and defended him, even if he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
And she not once has ever came out and defended Charlie, even when it was I want to say a neutral topic, but it's really not, because TPUSA is a mouthpiece for Trump. But I want to say, even when it comes to the Iran war, you couldn't even come out and just defend the fact that your husband was against that.
Yeah.
Something simple as that. We ain't got to talk about Ben. We ain't got to talk about Philly. We ain't got to talk about none of that.
Yeah.
All you have to do is repeat exactly what Charlie has said on camera. That's it. It's not going to come off as crazy.
No.
Just repeat what he said. He has a million videos of it. And she couldn't even do that. And that's when I was like, oh man, she gets me going, man. She gets me going.
Yeah. And I think it's she's also the most obvious person to look at, because her behavior would be the most obvious to determine genuine grief and loss, because she's the wife, right? These other people are coworkers. We don't know, were they actually close friends? We know now, because Blake and all them have said that they never spent time outside of work with Charlie. He was too busy. The only real one-on-one time they got with him was when they were flying on a plane or driving in a car. That was it. They didn't hang out outside of work. They didn't really know each other. But she would be the one that we could most easily detect genuineness or BS. And it was like immediate for most people that it was not authentic and genuine. And we weren't seeing grief, and we weren't seeing loss. And then, remember the videos that came out of her 5 days after on the Zoom chat call, the work call? That was crazy. The audio one that was just audio, that was crazy. Then they're firing people, and
even when you think about like her saying "I forgive you" on that stage, like, obviously hindsight is 2020. In that very moment, I didn't really think nothing of it. I think we talked about that last time. But when you really look back at that moment, months later, you start to realize, like, even if she did forgive Tyler Robinson, truly, I don't think any normal person would do it on the stage. You know what I mean? That's just something between you and God.
Yeah.
Go home, pray about it.
That it was
you can say that. Right. The fact that she said that publicly, again, the day for whatever day it happened, I didn't think nothing of it. But yeah, when I go back and just dissect all of her old things and really critique every little thing, no, like with my biased mindset now, I'm like, no normal person, would go up there and publicly forgive him in front of 200,000 people. You don't have to do that. Just do it in your prayer at night and move on. And when maybe the next time you pop out and the cameras is on you and you smiling a little bit, if somebody might ask you a question and they see you're in good spirits, you still don't even have to say nothing in, but that kind of shows that she did forgive him because she's at peace. You know what I mean? Because now you're in public, maybe you feeling better, whatever. But the fact that she went on stage and said, "I forgive you," I was like, nah, that's not right at all. And then on top of that, I think another thing is with Joe Kent. When Joe Kent came out and said what he said, I immediately thought, from a wife's perspective, from a friend's perspective, from anybody that actually loved Charlie or claimed to love Charlie. So we ain't even just not only Erica, we talking about anybody that comes to Charlie and Erica's defense every day on Twitter as well. When Joe Kent came out and said what he said, not one of them came out and was upset about that. This is something that brings truth to what happened to Charlie.
Yeah.
And not one of them, not a single one of them came out and was upset at what Joe Kent said and said, we demand a full investigation. Obviously, we expected Erica to do that. She's the wife. I would expect her to come out guns blazing all over X. But yet she knew Andrew Colvett and Blake Neff was going to condemn Joe Kent on the Charlie Kirk show. She knew that. So the fact that they went on the Charlie Kirk show and bashed Joe Kent for everything he said, I was so confused. Those are the times where I'm like, do I live in reality? Because this man is literally saying, I love Charlie.
Yep.
And he was a great friend to me.
Yep.
But something isn't right. And they were blocking me from this, blocking me from that. And there's more information. He kept on saying that. He was like, there's more information that we're not being told. I can't confirm this, that. So I'm like, if he is saying that, why aren't y'all pissed off and trying to get down to the bottom of that? Why didn't Andrew Colvett bring Joe Kent on the show and say, if you would like to share what happened, your truth? Joe Kent went on 1 million interviews when he first quit.
Yep.
Have him on your show and let's figure out something. Instead, they invite the person that reported on Joe Kent. What is he going to tell you? Invite Joe Kent and figure out that information. But they didn't. Instead, they trashed Joe Kent. And, I know Erica never comments on situations like that specifically, but these are people that represent her. So she's well aware of her company, or
100%.
I guess she doesn't own TBUSA, but she's well aware of the position she's in. Her company is bashing Joe Kent. She's well aware of that happening.
100%.
So I don't know, man. It's weird.
100%. Mystic, thank you for the 5 gifted Blackline Brief memberships. You're the best. And then Zamet, I haven't seen you in a minute. Justice for Charlie J. Kirk. He did not die in vain. Thank you for that. That was very, very generous. Thank you so much. Let's
dancing in heaven though at the employees having more work.
There's literally so much that it's hard for me to take anyone seriously, like Lisa and Gary and Graham Allen and Tracy Martin and all these people that can look at everything she's ever said and done publicly and go, that's not right. Like, Charlie wants you to work 60, 80, 90-hour weeks, 20-hour days. Don't eat, sleep here. Don't go home. Don't eat. And then work and work. He wants sales and money and merch because he likes sparklers. He liked big and he wanted this big, and it's his memorial, but it's not a memorial. It's kind of like a celebration. Not like of life, but like it was just like, oh, but it's also going to be a rally. It's like our stepping off point for the 2028 presidential. It was like the first rally for the next presidency, right? You got Trump is like he's not running again. He might, Adelson, who knows, right? He might go for a third term. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But then we got JD Vance and we got Erica Kirk, and they put them together, and it's like, it's just like, how does anyone like look past all this and go like, what? And I think that's the other thing. It's like, I don't think that they are doing this unintentionally. I don't think she's getting bad advice. I don't think that she's being lied to. I agree. I don't think that Andrew Colvett is tricking her to wear all black and look like she's out of some sort of militant thing when she does that taping, or when she goes on that show and like with Barry Weiss and they do her makeup and she looks like a vampire, and then she does weird like all this stuff, this stuff. There's no way she's media trained, PR trained, legal trained. There's no way she does all this stuff and doesn't know that. Like, that's why I think they're playing a different game. I think they want us to hate her. I don't know why.
They do.
I don't know why. Figured it out. But they want us. They want us to hate her.
They do. And I'm a huge fan of accountability. So I'm like, there's no way she doesn't know what she's doing. So I agree with you. I don't think there's anybody playing with strings on her. I think she's well aware. When you put on all black and a baseball cap to address the nation, and you didn't even wear black at the event of the century.
No, you wore white.
Right. So I'm like, you looked in the mirror, right? You got your makeup done. You knew exactly what you were doing when you walked out there. Same thing, like you said, with the eyes. And she knows her eyes do that because it's not normal. It's not normal, bro. So I agree. I think they intentionally want us to hate her. I don't know why. Again, that's the game that you said. It is just so different. And then when you look at X or Twitter, you're so upset over what's going on with the Charlie Kirk investigation and everything surrounding that. And then Erica or Andrew Colvett or any of those people will say, hey, don't forget to go vote. And I'm just like, there's no way that you think that we're concerned or thinking about voting right now. Like, it's so many things going on. You can even take Charlie Kirk out of the situation, but he's a huge part of my thought process when it comes to if I want to get out there and vote for anybody. But even if you take Charlie Kirk out of the situation, there's so many other things going on that would just make you question, why do you think I would get out there and vote for midterms, vote for any of that right now? You know what I mean? Unless I'm going out there to purposefully vote for the other side. I don't know.
Here's what I think, right? If the left and the right are two sides of the same coin, it's the same beast, and there's really an invisible party behind them both, controlling them both, right? And that when they throw us from the left to the right, when different parties are in the administration, they can pass different legislation, but they all end up in that direction. One world government, totalitarian control, less rights for us. That after this massive movement, like he won on a landslide, okay? We all turned out to vote, and if those that didn't vote for him, it didn't matter. He won anyway. But that it's almost like they wanted to guarantee JD does not get elected. It's almost like they're all working together to divide the right so that there is no more MAGA, that we're completely fractured, that no one's going to vote on the right, and that Gavin Newsom and freaking Harris end up to be the next president and vice president, so that whatever's coming next, that ballroom and that data center, Trump will never get to use that. Who is that being built for? Who's next? Who's next? And whatever this groundwork that's being laid right now, I don't think it's going to be a Republican in 2028. And I don't think it's by accident either. And I think whatever really bad is going to happen, it's going to happen under the left, because it's going to end up being persecution on the right, because we're the ones with most of the guns. We're the ones, the Republican right. We're the ones that serve in the military. And then that's perfect time for civil war, because they're going to say that JD and Erica should have won and they didn't, and they stole it again. And then, but now we have to be under the presidency of Harris and Newsom, or whoever they decide to be on the left that runs on that docket. We're not going to want them. We're not going to want them at all. And it's going to create the biggest civil unrest. And then they can, that's what it seems like to, that's That's the best I got
Nah,
with what might
I
happen.
don't think you far off. I mean, I typically don't. I always talk about not agreeing with somebody 100% of the time, but I haven't disagreed with you once yet, bro. And that I think is spot on, and you kind of see it as far as like the language the right is using at the moment when it comes to talking about the left. I see Andrew Kovac say it all the time. He's like,
Mhm.
the left wants you dead. We need to do
Mhm.
that. I'm like, who? I've never in my life met a Democrat that wants to kill me. What are you talking about? And
No.
and they create these things. It's almost like, we know that there is liberal indoctrination. We know
Yeah.
schools do it,
Yeah.
but it's almost like the right is creating the same indoctrination
Yes.
in other ways.
Yes. Yes.
It's crazy. I haven't seen the right talk this much, like this violently in my lifetime. Usually it's I mean, I don't even want to say usually it's the left, but I just haven't really seen conservatives, people that call themselves conservatives, say these type of things. You have all of these people coming to Trump's defense, no matter what he does, and they come out and say, people in Iran deserve it, people in Gaza deserve it. Like, these people are openly saying this stuff, and like I said, now you got Andrew Kovac, you got Erica now as a mouthpiece. She's going online. I literally called it the second she said enough is enough and she has to address the nation. I was like, she's about to get on here and talk about political violence. When, if we want to just be completely honest, the only political violence that's happening is from within them, is
Mhm.
from the actual administration. It's
Mhm.
their right versus their left. We
Mhm.
don't care that much to hurt each other.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? It's sure. I don't want to say 100% of the people don't care. It might be
Well, some
some
of them
extreme,
do. Yeah, some of
yeah,
crazies.
it's radicals on both sides.
Yeah.
But majority of us on
We
both
just want a good
sides,
life.
that's it. We just want a good life. Someone make our lives better when it
Yep.
comes to the economy,
Yep.
and we keep it pushing.
Yep.
But it's like they want us to really believe that the other side hates us.
Yep.
They want both sides to believe that we hate each other. That way, if I walk down the street and somehow, I find out that somebody's part of the left, they want me to
Yes.
feel offended.
Yeah.
Like, you want me dead. So we must have an issue with each other. When I don't really understand that play in that game, because it's just it's nonsense, bro. And to be honest, I seen this the other day, so I'm definitely not taking credit for it. Somebody said that Charlie was holding up kind of like both sides in a way, because
He was a peacemaker. He was a bridge builder.
right,
Yeah.
and and now that he's gone,
Mhm.
the radical right from the conservatives, it's split down the middle, and now they're like eliminating that level playing field of just having dialogue, having conversation, platforming everybody regardless of your differences, and now
100%.
it's truly radical right versus radical
Yeah,
left.
because you know what Charlie actually was, he was an obstacle, because even though he did say that the radical left wanted to kill him and there was people that threatened him in his life, and Joe Biden in presidency was trying to put him in prison, and yes, he was very outspoken that there were crazies, and that he did say that, the left was one of the enemies of our country and the nation. But however, he wasn't looking to go to war with them. He
Right.
was looking to save the youth of the left by
Yeah.
talking to them. And guess what you can't do when there's a Christian conservative talking to people? You can't get people to shoot each other. You can't get people to believe all people are evil, when this guy's one of the biggest people out there and he's got a whole movement and people that follow him, and they're all there to talk and listen and debate. You got to get that guy out of there, because he's an example of what he's saying is the way to resolve this. He said the way to resolve this is to talk to each other. They don't want us
Yeah.
talking. They don't want us resolving. They want us fighting. Now he's out the way. And what do we see? We don't see any resolving. We don't see any talking. We see fighting.
That's exactly what it is. And I think it might have been a week or two after Charlie died. I remember making a video about it and saying, like, after going down my rabbit hole on who Charlie Kirk is and the hundreds and hundreds of hours of content, I was like, I didn't even realize like how much of a conservative I was at that
Yeah.
very point. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't really look into any of that. I was just
Yeah.
kind of like floating in the atmosphere. And
Yeah.
you know, if we just being completely honest, the way
Yeah.
I'm raised is we grow up voting blue. That's just
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
We don't really know why. That's just what we
Isn't that
do. And
interesting? Even though most African American families are Christian, they're either
yeah,
Baptist or
yeah,
some, Pentecostal, evangelical, Protestant,
yeah,
whatever. But most are very faith, have their faith and their spirituality, their Christian, is all part of their upbringing. But yet,
yeah,
at some point, they were told to vote left,
yeah. That's
even though
and
most of the
that's
things the left hold to, as important are contradictive to the Bible.
completely. I had
Yeah.
no clue until Charlie died. I had no idea. I wasn't,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
all of that. I wasn't so
Yeah.
hard on the
I
blue
know. Yeah.
side, but I definitely was like, I had no idea, when it was time to vote in 2020, even though Biden literally said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. My
Isn't that
dumb self still
crazy?
went to the polls and still voted for him. You know what I mean? I still did it because that's just what we did. I had
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
clue on what any of it meant. And when Charlie died, I went through all of his content, and one of the biggest thing that I loved about him again was the dialogue.
Yeah.
And was to just have a conversation. So whenever I listened to his conversations he had with liberals or Democrats, he always was like, listen, I'm not here to tell you to vote red or be a conservative. I'm not telling you to do any of that. I want you to just go home thinking about what you believe in. If you say that you are a liberal and you say that this is what you vote for, this is who you represent, I want you to know why you believe in that. I want you to think about the things that you believe in and then come back to me. I'm not here to tell you to do one or the other. I just want you to just chop it up with you, learn more about you, and let you know that the things that you believe in don't really align with the party that you are voting for.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest things. And I started really thinking about it once he died. And I was just like, hold on, bro. Like, out of all these years in my life, why didn't I know any of this? You know what I mean? Like all the things,
Candace
all
said the
my
same thing,
principles.
though.
Yeah.
She said that she kinda went
Yeah.
through a very similar awakening.
Yes. Yes. Yep. And it happened. It happened to, it happens to all of us. I have a couple of friends that do the same thing. And it's it's shocking in many different ways, because once you come out of whatever that is, of whoever indoctrinated the first group, I guess, of black people to just only vote for Democrats, when you go back and talk to any of your family or your peoples, they look at you crazy. They look at you crazy, and it's hard to bridge that gap and have that full conversation of like, listen, we have the same core values and beliefs, and you're a conservative, brother or sister or auntie or uncle. You are, as much as you may not want to, again, this is the indoctrination, because somebody told you that if you are anywhere near the red, that you're racist or you're a coon or all these names that they
Yeah.
try to fearmonger you on to make you just stay with the blue side. But that's not the case at all. Learn a little bit more. Just because you're conservative doesn't mean that you love MAGA, doesn't mean that you love Trump. That's just your conservative perspectives. That's just your perspectives on things. That
Yep.
doesn't mean that you just are a diehard Republican.
Yeah.
You're a free thinker. I can be a conservative and lean left a little bit if 2028 come around and somebody on the right is not, for the people.
Yeah.
But we weren't taught any of that, man. I'm telling you, like from a little kid all the
Yeah.
way up, we don't know anything but blue. Everybody on the other side, everybody on the red, conservative red side is mean, evil people
Yeah.
that just want the worst for us. And then when you go back into history, you realize that now obviously parties can flip flop and all that stuff, but
Which they
when you
did.
go
I was
back in,
gonna bring that
which
up.
they
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
when you go back in history, you figure out that the conservatives and the Republicans fought for us.
Yeah.
Our entire life, they fought
Yep.
for us.
Yep.
I didn't learn any of that in school.
No.
I wasn't into 20. What I just turned 29. So at 28 when Charlie died,
Yeah.
that was my first time ever finding out
Mhm.
that the Republican side fought for us.
Yeah.
The Democrats created,
Yeah.
the KKK. They
Yeah.
created that segregation. They
Yeah.
created all of that.
Yeah.
And here we are constantly voting for them.
Yeah.
And you even have these presidents and politicians playing in our face. Like I
Yeah.
said, Joe Biden saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Kamala bringing female rappers to twerk on stage and say, come vote for us because look, I got your favorite rapper to twerk on stage for you.
Which Erica ended up doing
it's
too. When she had what's her name, Nicki Minaj on, like the most weirdest thing ever. You know.
Do you think it's flipping again?
So here's the thing: if you look back at history, a couple things, right? You know, slaves didn't have the right to vote, right? And so the Democrats never wanted to give that. They fought against allowing them to have rights. But then once I think they realized like it was going to happen, period. Then they realized that there was going to be hundreds of millions of new voters. And you look back at the different political parties over the years, they flip-flop so many times. It's insane. But when it became politically expedient to find a way to gain all these new voters, it was, I think it's sad, but yeah, they use tactics, right? Yeah. To appeal to culture, to things that were important to that community. And instead of actually like winning them over because they were going to represent them, you know, it's just so, I hope it doesn't flip again, but I mean, history repeats itself because no one learns history. So we're all doomed to repeat it, you know? And then the crazy people that know history and talk about history, everyone else is like, you're stupid. That never happened because they don't know history. And you're like, oh my gosh, like what? The Rothschilds are the ones that write the freaking school books. So yeah, of course you guys don't know anything. Great. Or the Rockefellers, right? They're the ones that own the education book boards and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. And I don't think that, you know, a lot of people will always bring up the alternative, but I just think with what we know and how corrupt our government is, it's hard to see that in the future, man. It's hard to see an alternative. Let's just say it's an independent, somebody that won't take the left or the right. Financial aid, I guess you can call it. It just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Like they try to gaslight us and say, you know, when we reference movies, but these movies get these storylines from somewhere. Yeah. Everybody isn't just an original creator.
No.
So if the movie is telling us that when independents rise and they become a threat, the right or the left is going to take them out at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Or or you're going to be forced to sign with the left or the right. You can't come out and say, I don't like what y'all doing. I don't like what y'all doing. So I'm going to come out and actually be for the people. You're not going to win that. You're a threat to them. So you're going against the narrative. You're going against the script. So you're not going to make it. Whether that means you're going to be eliminated forever or you're going to be a Butler, Pennsylvania, something going to happen and you're going to be like, okay, hold on. Let me sign with somebody so my life can be protected. So it's hard to see, you know, where we'll be as a country. And when I think about my son growing up, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it will look like. I don't know what reality will be.
It makes me sad thinking about the future for my kids, you know?
Yeah.
Kendra, I think this is yours because, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Super sticker.
Appreciate that, Kendra, for the super.
And then we got Mystic. Thank you, Mystic. And then we got Zamet. The battle is physical. The war is spiritual. 100%. Yep. Spot on. And then we got this for you from a super sticker for you from Mystic.
Mystic. Thank you.
Yeah. Here, let's take some look at some clips from Charlie, you know?
Okay.
Let's see. Let me pull this up. Pause. I got to hit pause because when you hit it on a link and when they email it to me, it pops up, it immediately plays it. This is going to be funny. All right. I love it. Let me make it.
Any words of wisdom for today?
Don't drink fish cleaner. Don't do stupid things.
Why are we getting that one?
Because he's just the perfect width. Not too fat, not too skinny. We're in an elevator. I like your hat.
wisdom for today?
Life is good.
Where are we?
You're in the White House.
I like that. Let's see. I got quite a few for today. That was the silly and happy one. Here, let's do this one. Wait. Why does it look like it's of UVU? Real time with Bill Maher. Watch Charlie Kirk. Hold on, let me see. Let me click on the link before I share it. How long is this? It's 4 minutes. That's a long clip. Hold on. I like the clips of Charlie. I don't want to listen to Bill. Bill tried to get Charlie contact high when Charlie did an interview with him. He just was smoking the whole time in the studio. Did you ever see that, Jay?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. And Charlie was like, that's the only time I almost got high was a secondhand contact high with Bill Maher. When he was smoking the whole time and I'm sitting across from him, you know? I was like, oh, Charlie. All right, let's listen to this.
I got another super fan right there. You want to come up here? No, you're too afraid? Got it. Okay, next question. Is that, we got another, that's a sign of endearment in most cultures. Come on up. Oh, come on up.
Oh, this one is so funny. Oh my God.
I remember this one. Yeah, I remember.
So you just buckle up. This one's hilarious.
So why do you care so much about other individuals living their lives? Why is it affecting you? Do you have something up your ass or something?
Well, I could throw that right back at you. Why do you care so much about what I have to say?
Because you're affecting other people's rights. You're taking away people's choices. You are hurting people. Read the Constitution.
What rights am I taking away exactly?
You're trying to take away gender-affirming care for individuals. You are affecting abortion rights. You are hurting people.
You say I'm here to take rights away.
Yes.
Do you agree life is a right?
I feel like if it's a clump of cells, then it's not alive.
No, but let's go back. Do you think every human being has a right to life?
Depending on how many weeks, but let's
hold on. Who's trying to take rights away? I want to protect the rights of all human beings. You call them a clump of cells. Who's trying to take rights away exactly?
So when is it a human being in your mind?
Well, it's not even on my mind. Human development objectively begins at conception.
So even if I had a miscarriage, what are you going to say about that?
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy?
Yes.
Okay. What if it's affecting the woman or anybody who is pregnant in this situation? What if they're going to die and they have to get an abortion? That's the only way they're going to live. Are they going to be over?
Well, hold on. Just so we're clear, that's only a couple thousand cases a year.
No.
And so, yes, it is.
Have you seen how many individuals have already died because they haven't been able to get abortion care?
Abortion in the life of the mother can be put aside as something that needs to be considered. However, it's not always necessary. But let's talk about the main thing, because there's over 1.5 million abortions every single year that don't involve rape, incest, or life of the mother. 1.5 million.
Yes.
But let's just ask you a very simple question. When does human life begin?
In my personal opinion, it's going to start around the second trimester, a little more farther along. But most individuals that are having abortions are going to be mothers that cannot afford it. They usually have already 2 to 3 kids and a lot of time.
So it's acceptable to be able to murder your young if all of a sudden you don't have the money to support them. You can murder your offspring if you're poor.
So in the first couple weeks, even though it's still not fully developed, doesn't even have a heartbeat, doesn't even have
development does not equal dignity. A human being is a human being regardless of the process of development that it is in, period. And so who's trying to take rights away? I actually want more.
She's so mad.
He's so mad. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I want to show this one because this is actually, I had some clips I wanted to pull up yesterday, but this is Riley Gaines and Charlie Kirk at, wait, where's my notes for this? Here it is. All right, 5104 is the first one. 5104, sorry. Oh, yeah, it's right. Oh, this is just when, so this isn't really anything important. It was, I was looking at Brian Harple because they escort this lady out and you see Brian
Thank you for your time.
Can't talk about signal game.
Oh, we can talk about it. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
This is when I was trying to find different things of Brian Harple. So he comes up here. was trying to like see what he wears, like looking at the different layout here, how it's different from UVU. And there's Blake, security guard. He's a pretty standard security guard, but nothing ends up happening here. I forgot that it's just he just walks her out. She ends up walking out. But this is an interesting part on 1:15:24. 1:15 here.
Most that if you're critical of America, that should be the number one condition for deportation. Do you have a thought on this, right?
Oh,
Yeah, again, my husband is
Actually, yes, and the rights he got were to be in front of a judge. If you behave a certain way, we're allowed to get rid of you. I actually think that the Trump administration scaling it back is smart. Deporting somebody who wrote an op-ed critical of Israel, that person should not be deported.
Thank you.
Yeah. He does not think people should be, messed with if they write an op-ed or say anything critical of Philly. Interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy how nobody will be able to do this anymore.
Yeah. And they're trying to make it that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Have you ever seen this interview with him and George Janko?
I think so. I think I remember watching this.
Let's see. Let me get this off the screen if I've played it already so that it doesn't hold up the show with too many tabs at the top. I'm trying not to focus on something else. All right. 26. This is where he says something positive about Candace. So at 26, let's see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Have you ever spoken to Cliff Netchell?
I'm familiar with him. Yeah, he's terrific.
I would love to have you guys on a show together.
I just think it's interesting. You guys are both fighting on campuses, and it would be interesting to see the both of you, team up on a campus.
He knows the word far better than I do. That's for sure.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have him on a speed dial. Like I'll be talking to somebody like, I don't know. And I'll just like get on the phone and I've passed the phone off to so many people.
Is that right?
And it's so, I love it because every time we're done, we pray on the phone. So if I'm talking to someone, he's on speaker, and I just find that moment alone, that is just the best.
Praise God.
When you see somebody like that. Okay, I want to actually talk about partnership. Candace Owens, we had her on the show.
Candace is the best.
And her new venture partnered with yours, but you guys used to work together.
Yeah, and we've known each other. Boy, it'll be 7 years in November.
Dude, you made it. He's so young that his back in the day is 7 years.
That's right. Of course. I mean, I've only been doing this for 12 years.
I know. I love that, bro. But does that overwhelm you ever? Or do you get excited that you're so young and you're with these?
Oh, I don't.
And then he ends up going off on something else, but that he never said anything bad about Candace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes, they have their differences, and he didn't agree on everything, but
yeah, I think it's telling that in his final days of all the pressure he was under, he stood 10 toes behind his real friends.
Yeah.
Talking about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, because when in that same text thread of him saying, lost another $2 million, they fit the, what do you say? They fit the stereotype.
Yep.
And all of that. He immediately, and because he said that he won't cancel Tucker Carlson, and then he immediately said, I'm thinking about bringing back Candace. Like it was almost like a screw it. You know what I mean? Like screw the donors, screw everything, screw all of this. I'm bringing back Candace. And then everybody was like, no, don't do it. So I just think to know that he just lost a couple $1 million because they won't cancel Tucker, and he's actively platforming Tucker, letting him speak, telling him go Max. And then in that same thread, double down against the donors and bring back Candace, knowing what will come from that. I just think that's very telling. That in his dying days, that's what he chose to do is to stand 10 toes behind Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens.
And Megyn Kelly too. He had her on the show because they started calling her an anti-Semite, and literally that whole show that she came on his show was them talking about how ridiculous it is that they're both being attacked for that.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say because I think ultimately there's no way Charlie was going to be on that list, but I think Charlie would have been on that Trump list that he dropped, that was like he was going at Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones,
Yeah.
Candace, Charlie, if he wasn't eliminated, he would have been on that list because he actively spoke out against the Iran war, and knowing that he was cool and friends with
Right.
Megyn, Tucker, and Candace. So, that's what it kind of makes you have an idea on why they had to take him out. Because if he was on that list, hopefully I want to believe that probably would have been the awakening for a lot of people on the right, a lot of conservatives, because they would have said, hold on now, Trump, we know that Charlie was like your second, third son. I don't know how many sons he got. Charlie was like your third son.
Right.
And for you to, let's just say he started bashing Charlie like he's doing Tucker, Candace, Megyn. If Trump started bashing Charlie after Charlie was the one that, they gave him all the credit for winning the first time and he was a huge part in this time, then that would have ended a lot of MAGA. I don't think it would have stood any longer if he would have started going at Charlie Kirk. So that's why I think, unfortunately, it makes sense that he had to be eliminated, because he couldn't be on that list, but he would have been. He would have been on that list because he was vouching for the same people that Trump disrespected. I don't think Charlie Kirk would have sat back and, I know Tyler Boyer says that Charlie Kirk knew a lot of things, and I'm sure he did, that he didn't share with the public because he wanted to save his face. You remember, I forgot who said, it might have been Candace or somebody, but Charlie stayed away from talking about a certain subject. I think Megyn Kelly actually accidentally put that out, maybe. But I know she said it. She said that there was a topic that Charlie was pushing for Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson to speak on. It might have been that Go Max moment. And his explanation on why he didn't really want to do it is because he said he was too close to the administration and he didn't want to ruffle any feathers. So that shows that Charlie was so deep in that he refrained from talking about certain things. But it just makes you wonder that if he was here today and the character that Charlie Kirk had, I don't think he would have sat back and allowed Trump to call Candace ugly. I don't think he would have sat back and allowed Trump to call Tucker, Candace, all these people dumb, stupid, low IQ. I just don't see that happening. I don't, because that's ultimately what Turning Point is saying. Turning Point is saying that Charlie Kirk would have essentially said nothing, and he would have just allowed all of that to go down, and he would have never stepped up and spoke up for Tucker and Candace. I don't see that happening. There's no way. I think he would have defended all of them to the very end, and I think he would have started to distance himself, at least.
Yeah. Agreed. Sorry. I'm trying to.
You could.
Yeah, I'll talk to you like off. Nothing to you. It's other stuff.
Yeah.
I'll see you in later.
Yeah.
There's
But
still
yeah, I
a
don't know,
fallout
man.
from everything that happened today. Just like,
With what, the Blake thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know where we're going. Hopefully we find something. Let's I think we should make that for sure a goal that by September 10th, 2026, we are somewhere down this timeline.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be pretty disappointed if we get any further and nothing is found out or resolved or anything. Yo, Jay Yepper, happy you're here. And Matt, hi, brother. Just showing you some love. Thank you, Bree. I appreciate it.
What's going on, Bree?
I'm in need of that today.
It's been a lot. You got to step away every now and then. I do like 2 days out of 7. I don't even touch any of this.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm really trying to make this something that I can do full time.
Yeah,
That
I
is
feel
my
that.
goal. So that's my goal. And I've learned things along the way that is why I've gone from 0 subscribers in January to 9,549 by May. One is which is, plugging away and doing a live each day. It does something with your community. It helps your community know to rely on you. They build a trust and like an acquaintance with one another. Like they look forward to seeing one another and communicating with one another. It helps the algorithm, right? Like after a live, it helps push your videos to new unknown subscribers, which helps you grow. And so, I mean, ideally, no, I don't want to be doing a live every day for the rest of my life. That would be exhausting. But I want to be able to do this and do it, long term. And so
Yeah.
I've had to make a lot of sacrifices to do this. Like I don't get to train jujitsu nearly as much as I used to, which is very, very hard for me. I was trying to make it to black belt in under 10 years. I was so close. Yeah, I pretty much work 2 full-time jobs. I work from, 8 a.m. till 5, 6, 7 p.m. And then I come home and prep and I do this, and so it's a bummer when like things that are really outside of my control, other people are saying and doing things that aren't true. They mischaracterize, they misrepresent. And a lot of people online don't know. They don't know. And then like you see how it affects, there's just a sad ripple effect of that, and that's a bummer. But I liked what Baron said. Like, I don't want to be in drama. Like I haven't spent time talking about them. I've talked about the theories, the issues, and that's it. And so I don't want to spend time talking about them. It's a bummer that I got more airtime than I thought I deserved with all this, but whatever, people are going to make whatever decision they make on that. If they come to the conclusion that they trust, those people saying those things, then that is what it is. It just is.
Yeah.
What it is. There's nothing I can do about that. And,
Yeah.
like I never benefited from doing a live with Blake. It hurt me every time. Every time it hurt me.
In what ways?
My subscriber count went down. I never, my views were not good. His views were great. It helped him. He got people from my show over to subscribe to him. Never transferred the opposite direction. I incurred so much more flack than anything else. Literally the whole beef with all those other people was because I was affiliated with him. Like that's the issue, was that I'm affiliated with him.
Right.
But then I meet people like you, or another good one that I enjoyed doing a live with was like Nihilist with a Twist, or Entheogenic Esquire, who's a lawyer guy. I just wish everyone could just be like that. I don't have time, energy, nor the desire to fight with anyone about anything so stupid as what's been happening in the last 48 hours, 24 hours. So
yeah. I definitely I stay away from all the drama, man. I will admit, since September, I don't think there's ever been a crazy situation like that, because I know that you are heavy on YouTube. My community started over on TikTok, so then crossed over to
I'm not on
they crossed over to YouTube. So I definitely do my best to stay out of all of that, because I'm just like, man, it's just a straight distraction, bro. Like at the end of the day, we trying to figure out what happened to Charlie. You know what I mean? And do people look suspicious? Are people lying? And the lies that matter, like there have been plenty of things that have went viral on X to me that doesn't really matter. Like when her what's it called? her shopping spree she went on. That was something that was very heavy that, I know my community was talking about it. Like, man,
The
what do
aloe
you have to
shopping.
say? Yeah,
Yeah.
and people they start to know me, and I'm like, I promise y'all, if it's something that is something like that, I just pay it no mind. It doesn't do anything. And so, I definitely try my best to stay out of that. Someone said about my life, I'm similar to Matt, man. I work all day from thankfully from home, so I don't have to go anywhere. But
Well, that's cool.
work 7:30 ish to about 4 o'clock. Then I get done, and then I go to the school. I coach basketball.
Mhm.
So go coach the guys, and then I come home and I get straight to the content. And I have been, I think we talked about it before, done content for a while, TikTok for 3 years or so, and that community has grown to like 300 something thousand. YouTube is getting there. We're growing that community as well. I think along the lines of what you were saying, as far as doing it full time, I don't know. I don't know. I think about it all the time as far as like where I want to be. I love commentary stuff. I really do. But I'm truly blessed in general, exactly where I'm at. So I enjoy my day job probably because I'm at home.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
It works with each other. It balances. I enjoy doing that, and then I also enjoy my passion, which is basketball. So I get a taste of that in the afternoon every day with helping the youth hopefully get to where they want to be in basketball, because I've had my eventful years in basketball and stuff like that. And then I also enjoy content. I enjoy it. So I dedicate a lot of my time to TikTok and YouTube to make sure I can provide whatever I can. And for a lot of y'all that know, I have a 3-year-old and another son on the way. So like, it's just appreciating life, man. Appreciating exactly where it's at. I definitely have gone through quite a bit, man. I got fired a week after my son was born. So like, I wasn't doing TikTok or YouTube or any of that. Like my one income, that was the sole income of our entire family, I was fired 1 week after my son was born.
What was your job?
I worked, it was a small business, but it was, we got a lot of business. So,
Okay.
the money that came in was a lot, but it was
Okay.
very small business.
Okay.
And I worked in, the HR department. I worked in HR, finances, and,
Why'd they
kinda like,
fire you?
dude,
I mean, they
so
knew
the
you
the
just had a kid too, right? Like they knew
man,
that, right? It's a small company.
I'll never forget, because of how, emotional that time was during, my wife's labor. I was working, like literally my computer in the hospital, because they wouldn't leave me alone. You know what I mean? I didn't have a paternity leave. So like they needed me because of how small the company is. But I'm like,
Yeah.
can you give me a day so I can my son can
Help
get
my
here?
wife deliver our
Yeah.
child.
And they was blowing my phone up, and I would help, and then when it was time, I would go and make sure I'm there. But then maybe it was a false alarm. It was like maybe like Braxton Hicks, and then I would go back and work a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I never got time off. I think when we finally went home the next day, I think I had maybe 1 day off, and then I was right back to it. And then literally by the end of the week, the douche head boss that I had was like, man, I sent you this long list of things that haven't been done yet. And I'm like, bro, help me out here. I'm trying. And then half of the things on the list were personal errands for him, like personal tasks, not like an errand, but personal task. Cause like I said, I was HR, I was finances, I was a manager of a lot of different things, small company. I wore a lot of hats. And one of those hats was like, the owner doesn't have time to get to some of the things that he gets to. So he's like, hey,
falls
can
on
you help me
you.
with this? Yeah. So I got all the things that was important to me and the employees done. But
Yeah.
his task, I was like, bro, you need to knock out your own task. Like,
Yeah.
and literally by the end of the week, he was like, you didn't do this for me, that for me, this for me. And I was like, you do it. I'm busy, bro. And he was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I don't think I need you anymore. Fired. And
I mean,
yeah,
it
bro,
sounds
I
like
was
even though it wasn't what you wanted or like needed, like in the short term, because like stability and a paycheck, after you're having your first kid is like so important. But like long term, like sounds like he was a douche and didn't value you and was taking advantage of you and wasn't respecting your time with your family. Like, bro, like, hey, yeah, we got a lot going on. How about you deliver your kid and you have take a couple days and give me a call on like day 3 or something, So screw
yeah.
him.
Yeah. I mean, a blessing in disguise obviously was a terrible, terrible time. And I definitely am blessed to not be in that situation. And it was hard, you know what I mean? Scraping up
Yeah.
what I could to
Yeah.
help this newborn and
So,
my family that
yeah.
my sole income was providing for. And so, I had to did a lot, man. It was a lot of door dashing and a lot of Amazon Flex driving and all of that to, pay what we had to pay for it. So but yeah, man, I ended up literally packing up. I think I was able to scrape enough money to pay for like the last month of the lease. And
Wow.
as soon as we paid it, literally was like, bro, I literally don't have a job. We let's just move. So
Yeah.
like we literally moved to North Carolina. And as soon as I'm from Atlanta, so
Okay.
was born, raised in Atlanta, all of that. So all of this happened in Atlanta as well. And we literally was like, we have no ties to Atlanta anymore, no job. So like, let's just move and see what happens.
Yeah.
And we did, and literally since being here has been nothing but blessings and
Yeah.
all, bro. Like so definitely grateful.
Did you feel like God called you, like told you North Carolina? What made you pick North Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, it was I definitely think that one, her mom was here, so in-law was here. And everything that's always happened in my life happened off of a move.
Mm,
So, in that situation, I definitely was like, man, this is one of those things again.
yeah.
Like if I make that kind of scary leap of faith,
Yep.
it's for a reason. So
Yep.
yeah, I definitely think God had a hand on it. It
Yep.
was the same thing with like my basketball career. I had chances to stay home or move across the country by myself to hoop for a school that I knew none of my family was going to be able to travel to and
Yeah.
visit. And I did, and it ended up being the best years of my life and led me to many different opportunities.
Yeah.
So yeah, as soon as that happened, bro, and we was presented the opportunity of either moving or signing a new lease in Atlanta, we both was like, obviously she's biased, her mom was here, but
Yeah.
I was like, screw it, let's do
Yeah.
it, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like in North Carolina, but I think I like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when we got here, it literally was still a little bit scary. I had to sell my car, so you know
Yeah.
what I mean. I didn't want to do that, but
Yeah.
once I did, and we managed one car for a while and all that stuff, bro, like literally job came, basketball at the school came, and then I literally, I started TikTok a little bit in Atlanta, but it wasn't that much. It was here
Mhm.
and there. And then as soon as I got to North Carolina, I still was trying to get everything lined up, but I just started talking more. I had more time on my hands.
Yeah.
So I started talking and yapping on TikTok. And then next thing you know, it was boom, boom, boom. It started growing. And then, I got the first check from TikTok and I was like, whoa, hold on. Like that was from what exactly? All I did was
Oh,
just
wow.
yap, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And it just kept coming month after month. And, then Charlie passed, and that was the biggest leap of social media
Yeah.
because, a lot of people was resonating with me as far as loving Charlie and vouching for
Yeah.
Charlie, because it wasn't that many people at that time that was like on platforms vouching for him. And
Right.
and that was definitely me. Like from day one, I think I went a whole month of September of straight Charlie Kirk vouching for him and
Yeah.
talking about how much of a good guy he was,
Yeah.
and bringing videos like you're showing right now of great conversation and
Yeah.
dialogue. And
There's like no
yeah,
there's no bad videos of him. There's never a video of him like cussing, yelling, like
no,
being negative. Like he stuck up for himself, and when libs were being nasty, like he put it back, but like respectfully in a Christ-like way. And he was
yes.
quick and witty, and but he was humble and meek. And there's like literally not one. Like, can you say that about anyone on the internet? Like, go find me a bad video of like so and so, and you'd be like, okay, I can do that.
You
Like, go
can't.
find me a
He
bad
was
video of
always
Charlie.
respectful,
Doesn't
always
exist.
respectful, man. Like,
It
and
just
that's what
doesn't
I
exist.
loved about him. Absolutely loved the debates and everything. You know what I mean? So like, that's why when I saw your page, I definitely was, when I was listening to the first couple of videos I was listening to of you, and you know your take on Charlie and your perspective on things. I was like, bro, this guy's pretty cool. I don't even know who was I don't even know who was the first one. But somebody threw your page out there and one live, and then I pulled it up, and I was like, "Oh, I like this guy. Like he's pretty cool," because it's kind of hard trying to find that, you know, in this
It is.
space.
It really
So,
is.
but literally similar to you, like soon as January 2026 happened, you know, everybody was blowing up the social media pages last
Yeah.
year. Was like, bro, start the YouTube, and
Yeah.
January committed to it. So like,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing, bro. I'm glad I was able to meet somebody like you, because there's
Same.
definitely some
You
some
give me
interesting
like,
people.
yeah, you give me like hope, you know, like I always know it's going to be a good conversation, but that it's so funny too. Like there's so many times in today's conversation where you literally say something that I literally either just said yesterday or earlier this week, like exactly like it's we're on yeah, just great minds think alike. And it's really nice, you know, when you meet other people like-minded that are honest, humble, good people that, you know, that honestly, I did follow Charlie a lot, and he had a huge impact on my life, and obviously then the loss of him had a huge impact on my life. And that's literally what drove me to do this, was the lack of other men like him in this space.
Yeah.
And the people that they were putting out there as possible heir apparents were just nothing like him. And it motivated me to just do it. And that's honestly been my only issue with other people, that it's either something they're saying or doing, or they never followed him. They didn't know him. And not that that's not the only like prerequisite, but because of that, then they're saying that he would lie about his life and his death, that he would do all these things that is totally contradictive to the man that I believe I knew. I don't believe he was fake. I don't believe he would lie. I don't believe he was an actor, and that all these things. And so I get very defensive when people are saying and doing things that attacks Charlie's character and who he is and his legacy. Yep. Guilty. Sorry.
I agree. And I think everything that he's built, you know, with Turning Point as well, it's sad seeing, you know, where it's going in live time, you know, seeing all of the people that are coming out in the name of Charlie or in the name of Turning Point,
So
completely just go against everything he stood for, you know, things that are on, that we have hundreds and hundreds of hours of him saying certain things, and they come out and just say the opposite.
They get
And
community
say,
noted on X, and they're like, oh,
yeah,
and they act like it never happened. It's nuts.
Right. And then we're gaslit, and we're like, you know, no, Charlie actually didn't think like that. I'm like, I'm literally watching his videos. You
Like,
have the same videos.
bro, did you know? Hey, check this out. Did you know he did a full campus event in Hawaii with Candace?
Yeah, that's I saw that.
Did you know it doesn't exist anymore?
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's scrubbed from the internet. Go onto
Really?
TPUSA website. Go look for their full video. There's a bunch of them. They're gone. Guess the longest clip that's available of that event. 5 minutes, 4 minutes.
Really?
Yep.
I've seen that.
Yep. The Hawaii campus event with Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk is not available.
Yeah, you're right.
4-minute
5
clip,
minutes.
5-minute clip. There might be an 8 or 10-minute clip, but it's kind of like the same of the other two put together.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
And then if you were to go onto the website, there is on his website, right? There's a place where you can go and it's just the campus events. There's like not a lot of them there. And that one's not there. That one's not there at all. And somebody was talking about that episode or that campus event where you could really see how much they cared for one another. This like brother sister dynamic. And somebody was talking about it. And I was like, that would be a great one to show. And I go to look for it and it's gone. And it's not an accident. And that's weird.
I will bring attention to it as well. Because
if you go to the Wayback Machine too, and it I forget Mystic, one of my mods, because I asked them to look for it. I asked my wife to look for it. I asked everyone, and everyone came back nil. And then one of them looked it up in the Wayback Machine, and it's like, I don't remember what they said. If you go look in the Wayback Machine sometime, you'll see whatever it says, but it like talks about its existence, but that it's gone and it's not there. It's just so weird.
That's just disappointing, man. It's so disappointing how they're trying to they're like changing Charlie's perspective and views, like without even him here being able to defend it.
Yeah.
Just erasing memories that we literally saw. I remember that debate with that lady. I remember that.
They're wearing lays. They're outside.
I remember that.
Candace
I watched that whole thing.
I see with her back and forth, but there was other good ones. And I don't even think that they wanted to that they deleted the debates. That I don't even know that that's why they deleted it. I think they deleted it because it would show Charlie and Candace's friendip and relationship.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
How much he cared about her, how much she cared about him. Yeah. Because they've already tried to throw the narrative out there that they weren't cool or something like that leading up to his death or whatever lie they tried to bring up. And then when she shows text messages, sometimes it's from years ago, and they're like, look, they haven't talked in years. And it's like, bro, first off, even these clips are only a year old. And it's crazy, man.
They want to not believe reality.
I mean, and then again, we brought this up before, but in the final text, like, in the days leading up to his death, he wanted to bring Candace back.
Yes.
Like, regardless of everything that y'all are bringing up about them not being cool, sure, let's just say y'all can have that.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. In his final days, he wanted to bring her back.
And whoever was on the other end is a freaking snake in the grass and said, that might seem like a good idea in the short term, but in the long run, that's not going to work out well for you. Oh, don't say that. That whoever that person was is a snake in the freaking grass.
Yep. 100%.
You know,
if we're gonna get somewhere.
If Erica wanted to look legit, there's no way she didn't know. There's no way that she didn't know what to do. Like if she wanted to really keep his legacy strong and for all of us, his real supporters, to love her and to get behind her and root for her, she would have to come out and talk about the Jewish donor text. She would have to come out and talk about the threats. She would have to come out and talk about him opposing Iran, the war. She would have to come out and say that Philly was putting pressure on him and that it was bad at the Hamptons and at the Aspen retreat. And she would have to come out and like do a totally different Amfest with Tucker, Megan, and Candace and Dave Smith.
Yep.
Can you imagine the reality we'd be living in right now if all of those things happened?
Yep. It's hard to even imagine.
Could have ran for president if she did all those things legitimately.
Yeah.
We would have loved her.
Yeah. And again, it's all about acknowledgement. You know what I mean? Just acknowledging, just repeating the things that your husband stood for. But that's the pressure of Philly and everything like that or whatever. But I'm like, Erica, bro, all you got to do is just say what Charlie said.
That's it.
I don't really think any harm comes from that. It's not you coming out as the, why did y'all do this to him and all that stuff. You don't even got to take it that far. Just say,
Exactly.
these are things that my husband stood for. You can say everything in the name of Charlie. These are things that my husband stood for. This is facts. He was under pressure, blah, blah. I'm not coming to any conclusions. This is what it is. And we all would have loved her, bro. Like, for sure. And even if she didn't want to say any of that, I feel like if she, I think Tim Dillon said it, or maybe somebody else, but if she went away for a while once this happened, similar to like Vanessa Bryant, you know, Vanessa Bryant, she popped out for the memorial, but like we didn't see her for a minute when Kobe died.
Yeah.
And when she did pop out, man, she was angry, and you know, she was suing everybody.
Yep.
And if Erica just laid low for a couple of months and we would have just assumed she was grieving versus like seeing it all firsthand and on the public display. But if she laid low for a couple of months and she just popped out eventually months later, we probably would have never had as many questions, bro. We probably would have never been in, you know, deep diving into who she actually is.
That's what makes
you know, obviously
deliberate.
You said what?
That's what makes me think it's on purpose, because that would have been obvious to anyone advising her. But like the worst thing you could do is put yourself in front of the camera over and over and over, like she says, over and over.
Bro, that was so creepy.
So weird.
I mean, I don't know if she, you know, I think she's doing it deliberately, and whoever else is behind this weird reality that we're in right now. I don't know. I don't know why she wants to be public enemy.
I don't either. But there's a reason.
I don't know.
We'll find out eventually. Eventually we'll figure it out. Eventually it'll come out, and it might be too late by then. We might already have slow walked into the gas chamber, right into the freaking trap of whatever this is. You know, because it's not an accident, and they're all working together. This White House correspondence thing is part of it. Butler was probably part of it. Charlie probably posed a significant threat to whatever is coming later this year or next year. Charlie being free and independent and smart and articulate and
oh my gosh,
that posed such a freaking red flag that they were like, or what's a different word, like just a huge possible risk that they're like,
because they thought Candace, like her show was a threat because she has the platform of 1 million subs. Charlie would have been in front of actual people, and going on college campuses saying the same things that Candace talking. Like that is
so bad,
kind of worse than just YouTube.
So bad.
And you know, he was an advocate for the files too. So you know, like I don't know how true it is with, you know, Erica being tied to that, because that's very strange. I don't have any friends that happen to be in the same country as Jeff. You know that. So he was an advocate for that. So you know, I think he probably would have kept pushing for that. And I don't know, man. He definitely knew a lot, and he was pushing for a lot that I think he had no idea that the woman that he was laying in bed with at night was a part of the things that was going to get exposed. So, I mean, that's kind of scary when you think about it. He's out there.
She might not even have known, right? Like if she was Mortal Kombat Ultra, right? She's like a sleeper cell. And then they like play a song on her phone one day and she's activated. And like all like this other, you know, version of her that was trained and freaking wiped clean. And like the Jason Bourne, you know, like he didn't even know what else he could do. And then he just like, you know, he gets activated. The Manchurian Candidate, you know? Have you ever seen Zoolander?
No, I did. I heard of it though.
With Will Ferrell and Ben Stiller, and he's like a model, and he's like, I can't turn left, but he gets like trained as like a Manchurian Candidate to like assassinate the Mongolian leader, and like he's on like a catwalk, and they play like this music, and he gets activated, and he's like, wah! And he like tries to kill him. It's like she might not even have known. Like who knows? You know, who knows?
Yeah.
But holy smokes, I'm tired. I'm starving. We're at 2.5 hours. Let me read some of these before I think Mystic was the last one I did, right? Was this? Yes. Thank you, Mystic, for him. She gave you that super sticker.
Thank you, Mystic. I appreciate it.
Zamet said, there is no truth without respect. You're like bringing deep philosophical truth tonight, Zamet. Yeah, 100%. There is no truth without respect. Bree said, Matt, we love you. And Jay, love the authenticity. Thank you, Bree. Yeah, that's what I value. Jay's authenticity, genuineness. He's just like down to earth, real guy. And with all these other people, it's been hard to assess motive and are they real? Am I being played? Am I being sucked into something here? And unfortunately, because I'm so new to this, and I think I was in a lot of ways sucked into stuff that I wasn't ever intending to, or if I could go back, like I think I would just stay far away from a couple people. I wouldn't even have talked about it. I wouldn't even have talked about it. I wouldn't even I just would have stayed clear away from a couple people. And I'm not even gonna name it because I don't want it anymore. I don't want it anymore. Like I don't, Jim Carrey. Jim Bear, you changed your name? All right. Okay. Matt, I'm sorry you got dragged into drama. That was never yours to carry. You stayed solid, respectful, and true to who you are. And that speaks louder than any podcast ever will. Thank you, Jim Bear. It's going to be hard to not call you Jim Bear. I think that's you. It's the same picture. Ace Ventura hanging out the car window. You've seen Ace Ventura, right? Come on. Jay?
I seen what?
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective?
No.
Wait. I forgot. I'm twice your age, believe it or not. So
really? Hey man, you look good for your age, man.
Thank you. I'm 40. I'll be 41 in August. You're 28.
No, I couldn't have guessed that. 29.
When's your birthday?
I wouldn't have guessed that. January.
Okay. I was trying to figure out why we do so well together. I was trying to figure out like when you might have been born. January.
I wouldn't have guessed that, man.
Yeah.
I would have guessed probably what you say, you 40 or about to turn 40. I would have probably guessed probably under 35.
Yeah.
So look at you.
Yeah. I mean, my wife is 8.5 years younger than me. So
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I've always had a baby face. Like in high school, it was the worst thing. Because I was short, I was super small, and all the girls thought I was just so cute, like a little brother. They're like, call me when you turn into a man someday. So I've always looked way younger than I am. It's only finally started to pay off. It didn't pay off when I was younger.
I was about to say that. It's paying off now, man. You're going to be 50, 60, still looking 30, 40.
I'll take it. You got to eat right. You got to exercise. You got to, and going back to one thing, and then I'll play the closing clip of Charlie, and then we'll end. Was one of the reasons why I want to do this full time is so that I can work from home and be with my family. And that's kind of what's so awesome about what your line of work that you're in right now is that you get to work from home. But imagine not having that, right? And so like the ultimate dream would be to make enough money where I could spend more time with the things that are most important to me, which is my wife and my kids, and that we can. I coach my kids' different teams. I've always been the coach for all the different sports for my kids' teams, to be able to work from home and to spend more time with them, because that's the most important thing about this life is family and time with them.
Yeah, 100%. I probably, if anybody ever told me that I got to go back into the office, I'm quitting. That ain't happening.
That's what's hard for me right now is doing that and being gone so much. And it would afford me the life that I want to be able to give to my wife and my kids, and that I would get to enjoy that life with them. Most people work 9 to 5 to provide that life for their family, but the husbands don't get to enjoy it much themselves. They're working for that life for their wife and kids, and they miss out on a lot of it because of the working. But
it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that, when I talk to some connections and stuff that have very large houses, and
Right.
obviously you ultimately want that for your kids. You want your kids to have the backyard and all
Yeah.
that other stuff. But
comes at a
when I
cost.
talk to them about what they do for work, they're never home. So
Yeah.
like their money pays for everything, but I
Mhm.
don't care about all that. I love being with my son every day and
Yes.
just get to hang out all the time. Like,
Yes.
yeah, we might not have a mansion, but the quality time
It's the
is
most
priceless.
Yeah, it's the most important. I know your kids are young and you have one on the way, right?
Yeah.
One thing I could advise you as a young father that I didn't know, and you might know already because you have one that's probably a toddler now, not an infant, but that even though there's certain stages as they grow that seem so difficult and exhausting and hard, it goes by so fast. And some of the most precious, valuable years are like, I don't know, the 5 and under, but I mean 6 is still great, 7, 8, still great. But like both of my kids are now like teenagers, and
Wow.
they want to be with friends and they want to hang out, and I'm not cool. And when their friends aren't here, I'm cool though. And they love me, and it's I look back at the videos and photos of when they like, you can hold them and they would fall asleep on you, and they call you daddy, just
yeah.
it doesn't last forever. It goes by so fast. It's some of the best memories when you look back at those times. And my suggestion is just eat that up every minute that you can.
Yeah. I'm definitely doing my best to appreciate it even more. Like I feel like I do, but I try to find the next thing because I definitely agree. And I know that, I have heard it before. So that's why I'm like, I just want to make sure that I am appreciating it. I was at his school the other day and I walked in there, it was this big old like surprise thing or whatever. And he's going to all his friends and he's like, hey, like, that's my dad. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that is just so cool because
Yeah, it is.
you just don't get that back. So I'm
No.
definitely, even with the new one on the way, I'm like already just excited to just enjoy the moment. And plus when my son now, when he was a newborn, I was out the house at a office job and going left and right. So knowing that I get to be home with man, it's
that
beautiful.
whole side in a different way and be more present and get more time with them as an infant.
Right.
It's such an amazing blessing and gift. A lot of guys that aren't in touch with their emotions and their nurturing side tend to forsake that and not think that's a valuable time. But believe it or not, that's a part of the development in their life that's what's going to determine what kind of trust they have of the same sex and the opposite sex, how they value different relationships when they get older. It's all about some things that happen before they're verbal. All of you meeting their needs constantly when they're crying and holding them and comforting them. And a dad being able to do that is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I think that's a good spot to end on, you guys. Family's the most important thing, and keeping that in the forefront of our hearts and minds for one another, for this community, for our nation, for the world, and for Charlie, because he can't do that for himself anymore. And the people that have remained around him, I mean, we don't know about parents. Hopefully one day we'll hear from the sister and the parents, his parents. But for now, all we know is, Erica, and then the people at TPUSA that don't seem to have his best interests at heart. So it's left up to all of us to never forget and never let it go. So I appreciate you, my man.
Man, I appreciate you. And we definitely have to do another one
Always.
I feel like we might as well schedule it in every couple weeks. You know what I mean?
I like it.
So we'll
It's
definitely chop it up again.
100%. It's like a good palate cleanser for me with like a lot of this other stuff that's like, that's the outlier. All of that. This is the norm. This is the standard. This is the rule. So I appreciate you. Yeah, we should put it on as like a weekly or bi-weekly thing, whatever works for us. And I'll hit you up offline and we'll get it penciled in.
Sounds good, bro.
For those of you that came in halfway or towards the end, do Yapper a favor and myself, and please hit the like and subscribe wherever you're viewing from. It's the best way to support the channel. And outside of that, God bless everybody. Love you guys. Thank you all for all your love and support. All right, man.
See ya.
Have a good night. Bye, you guys.